Yo, what is the goddamn word? What's going on? Welcome to another show, one of the dopest shows on YouTube, where we talk about everything under the sun as long as we get back to the money and we get back to real solutions. I'm your host, Courtnee Edgar Dog. You feel me? And tonight we got some fire topics for y'all tonight. I'm talking about we got some fire. We got some fire tonight, bro. So buckle in, grab your drinks, grab your food, grab whatever you need, because we finna lock the fuck in, you hear me? But before we do that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit that notification bell, dog, because guess what? It helps the algorithm. It helps us continue to get into this algorithm, man. We trying to grow this platform. We want to build. We want to grow. We want to run the motherfucking numbers up. You feel me? We want to run the numbers up. We're this close to monetization. So, hey, if you ain't here, make sure you share it, like, subscribe, share with your family, your friends, your mama, your uncle, your sister, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, all of them. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the first topic of tonight. This is the icebreaker. I think there's something similar to what the Pop the Balloon was, and you know they had a little reunion and what's going on. So there's a bunch of black men, a bunch of black women, and they're having discussions. And this black man, he's just keeping it 100 with a lot of women in regards to what men do. So let's go ahead and get into the topic, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You heard?
How many PlayStations have you bought?
I bought a lot of them and Xboxes.
Let me say this. Wow. I mean, how many PlayStations have you bought?
I bought a lot of them and Xboxes and GameCubes and Wii's, all types.
Because you mentioned that with a passion.
Man, look, it's something that we all done went through. We all just don't speak on it.
We
all done dated women with kids, and we all done got the short end of the stick. It's just we all deal with it in different ways. Some of us speak out on it, some of us don't. They always get the bigger end.
Some of the stuff that you said, I feel like I'm talking out of hurt. That's just me.
I'm talking out of hurt. You see that these men ain't disagreeing. That's just what
I think.
Look at that. First of all, before we even let it go, before I let it continue to keep playing, y'all already see the shaming tactics. It's always a shaming tactic at the end of the day. Every time a man starts to speak on his experiences and the things that he goes through with women, it's always who hurt you. Why can't it just be, you know what, that's your experience? I feel that it's valid, but it's always a shaming tactic.
And why don't one man disagree with you?
Because you're the only person talking, really.
Do
to be
any
honest.
man disagree with what I have said so far? Speak now. If you do, it's fine.
Hey, don't put me in this.
This was the time to speak. This was the time to speak, and yet none of the fellas want to speak up. This was y'all time to shine. Buddy out here standing on the island by himself, and you ain't saying nothing, brother.
I said any man.
I'm staying out the way.
Hey, I'm staying out of this one.
And that's the problem. You staying out the way. Talk your talk. Why are you being afraid, bro? I promise you, she ain't gonna give you none. I promise you, she ain't gonna give you none. Oh man, shit, I'm just staying out the way, bro. Why? This is what you on the platform for. Talk about the experiences that you go through. Why is it that you can't talk your talk? Why are you so afraid to speak about the things that you go through as a man? Men go through shit too.
I'm staying out the way on that. So yeah, some of it is legit.
If I'm honest,
I'm ready for this.
I'm with him, but I'm not with him. Let me tell you why I'm with him. Some of the things that he's saying make sense, but I think that when you get with the right woman, you guys communicate, then everything can go the way he's saying.
Love it.
So like I think he's referring to a submissive woman. And I think that you have to communicate with the woman on a certain level to find out if she is submissive, and then he'll get everything he's talking about. But he's not dealing with submissive women. He's just dealing with, I don't know, because I'm dealing with women.
Well, apparently ain't none of y'all dealing with submissive women because y'all are on this fucking platform. So therefore, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have experienced it as well. And we see this on the platform as well. We see, come on, dog. Come on, bro. We gonna play that game. We gonna play that game. You really trying? Is getting the box that serious to you, homeboy? You really gonna play the game? Because as soon as a lot of females start to agree with you, that's when you know you're wrong.
that's manipulative. Like
he
women
did it with the wrong
nowadays, they
kinds.
only want to be submissive when it fits them. They'll be submissive when we going on trips and when I'm paying the rent and whenever their car break down, I'm getting it fixed and whenever everything else is going good. When I tell you don't go to the club, it's a problem. You submissive whenever you want to be. Whenever I tell you to do something you don't want to do, now you're no longer submissive. That's not going for me. It's not going for me.
I can't lie to you. He got some truth in there.
That's true. That's true.
I'm gonna keep it a buck
He ain't saying
because
shit wrong with that.
but
That's what I'm saying. You just gotta keep it a buck with them. You gotta. This is the time to talk your talk. All of them are quiet. This is the time to express the things that you actually go through. It ain't got shit. It don't have anything to do with who hurt you or trauma. All those shaming tactics that a lot of these women try to do. It ain't got shit to do with that. It's simple. It's hey, this is the things that I have experienced, or these are the experiences that people around me have experienced, and so I'm just speaking on their behalf, right?
I'm noticing that more so in the generation that came before me, the 30 and down. The ones that's around my age and up, they're a little better. But you know, them young ones, they've been having the little issues, you know. They do all of it, and then no offense, baby, but it's too much of the snapbacks of the hands and all that extra. But like you said, when you're doing for them, everything good.
Too much talking back.
I might be rich on this a little bit.
They're not letting us lead.
Yeah,
we need to be able to lead. But how can I lead a woman who every time I say something, she got something to say back? So you get in a relationship with a man who you feel like gonna do better by you and get you in a better place in life, but you don't want to listen to him. Why are you with him?
I can't listen to a man or be led by a man that's gonna lead me into darkness. If I see off rip that you finna lead me into some BS,
then get away from me.
Let me take the reins. I'm gonna have to take the reins to be masculine. Don't no woman wants to be masculine.
Well, pick better men today.
Listen, no woman wants to be masculine. We all desire to be in our femininity. You know, we want a man.
So let me say this.
So in her little tangent before it faded away, basically what she was saying is that no woman wants to be with a man that she has to lead him. But my man in the back who was already cooking, he said, well, you need to choose better men. You need to have better discernment. You need to understand the type of man that you want. If this is the type of man that you feel as if you're going to have to leave him, leave him. Why are you sitting in that relationship still? Get out of the relationship. Or maybe this is this is something smart that you can do. You know how a lot of times you want to put yourself in positions, just like let's think about entrepreneur wise. Let's think about becoming successful, right? When you want to become successful, you want to be sure that you surround yourself with like-minded individuals. You want to surround yourself with people who think like you or are in the positions in where you want to be. So in this case, for ladies, if you want to be with a man that's masculine, you know, he's going to be the one that's going to take care of you. He's going to do what he do. He stands by his word. He's going to be that man so you can operate in your feminine energy, which you should already be operating in the first fucking place. But that's neither here nor there right now. You need to put yourself not only in the spaces that these men are, but you need to also put yourself in the spaces of the women that operate in their femininity on a consistent basis, not only when it benefits you or doesn't benefit you. No, you need to operate and put yourself in those positions as those women that are in those spaces with those masculine men that you are wanting and looking for. And then once you put yourself in those positions, you then have to understand what is it that these men look for out of these type of women. Once you understand that, then you move accordingly. It's not that hard. Y'all make shit so fucking hard. Dating is not that hard, bro. It's really not. It's really not. Y'all just make it fucking hard. Y'all make shit more difficult than what it needs to be. You need to understand your SMV. But for those of y'all who don't know what SMV means, it means your sexual market value. You need to understand where you land. You need to understand that, listen, I may not be a 10. I might end up being a 5. But I know that there are certain things that I can build on that can probably rise my SMV. 1, that means I can't be out here busting it open for a lot of different people. I can't be getting thirsted out here. 2, you need to be making sure that you're in the gym, that you're fit, that you're eating healthy, that you're in your best shape that you can possibly fucking be. That's 2. 3, you need to operate in your femininity. 4, which also means you need to work on stop having this fucking attitude. You ain't got no reason to have an attitude out here in these streets. You live life on easy mode. You ain't got no reason to have an attitude. And you need to focus on learning how to converse with people. I know a lot of you are social, but you need to learn how to have conversations because a lot of y'all women are weird. Y'all act weird as shit. Y'all think y'all top tier shit, but y'all are weird as fuck. Some of y'all are for sure. And other than that, you just move accordingly. And again, put yourself in the circles of people that are successful when it comes to relationships and who are in the places where you want to be. It's simple, bro. Like, why y'all make shit so fucking hard? Why y'all make shit so hard? It's really, I promise you, it's not that fucking hard. But look, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit that bell notification, dog. So listen, I want to go ahead and go to this next topic of tonight. And we're still in the same realm of the icebreaker, but it's a woman talking about the manosphere in regards to her man listening to guys like Kevin Samuels. We need to let that man rest, but I thought this would be great for me to talk about. This would be a great icebreaker, for me to just talk about, because once you see this, you can be like, this shit is wild. So let's go ahead and get into it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all right? Let's get it, dog.
Fail because of the type of content that your boyfriend was watching?
First of all, before we get into it, look at this. Just look. I haven't said anything. I haven't said anything. Yep, 32 and counting. We almost there. But look at this. I'm not bullying. I'm not. But what I like to do is I want to keep everything 100%. I want to make sure I keep things authentic over here. I'm not going to be politically correct. I'm not going to sit up here and sugarcoat. I'm not going to sit over here and, I'm just going to be nice. And, I don't want to get canceled. Fuck all that. Pay attention. Look at the person. Look at her. Now that you have everything that you need to see, let's listen to her.
Watching. I just saw this girl, and I'm gonna tag her below, and she was talking about how she lost her boyfriend to red pill content. Well, I basically lost my boyfriend to manosphere content, and that was the beginning of the end. I didn't know it though. One day,
I wouldn't necessarily say pretty, Snow. I wouldn't necessarily say pretty. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't say that.
I came home. I was in my vanity room. Okay, I have a room just for.
I'm not gonna judge her with her makeup on. I'm absolutely not. Nope. Because if she looked like that with her makeup on, I can only imagine what she looked like with the makeup off. Because now what I see is the best version of her. And that's all you got? Nah.
For myself with my clothes and my makeup. In that room, I have a TV. One day, my ex, he comes in my room where I'm decompressing, mind you. And he goes on my TV and he says, baby, I want you to watch this creator with me. Okay. And I said, oh, okay. Because at this point, me and him have been together for about a good 3 years. So I feel like when he was suggesting content to me, it's because he thought that I also might enjoy it. Nope. So I said, oh, okay. What type of content does he make? And he says, well, he comes on his platform and he invites women on there and he basically argues with them. And I shit y'all not, the first question that came out of my mouth after he said that was, is he gay? Because in my mind, I don't know an actual real man who goes out about his way to argue with a woman just to tell her about herself. Because in my reality, okay, that don't happen, right? I didn't grow up with men who were around me that did that type of shit. And the ones that did do that type of shit, they were gay. So that's why I asked that question. He starts to laugh and he's like, no, he's not gay. It's just that he likes to debate. He likes to go back.
Again, shaming tactics. It never fucking fails. Shaming tactics.
And forth with the women and tell them how they're wrong. And I was like, okay, just go ahead and put it on. This motherfucker gonna put on Kevin Samuels. Mind you, I did not know who the hell he was at that point. And most people didn't know who he was at that point because he didn't blow up yet. He puts him on. And mind you, I'm just listening because I'm not watching. I'm taking off my makeup and shit. I'm hearing the content. I'm just like, I look at my ex at one point. I'm just like, can you take him off my TV, please? So my ex just starts to laugh and he's like, oh, what, you don't like him? I'm like, hell no, I don't like him. And then I start to like question him, like, why the fuck would I like him? So fast forward, me and my ex get into an argument. So we get into this fight and basically he asked me why I wouldn't do something, like, or why I wasn't like taking him serious or paying attention to him about some shit he was trying to say. I can't really remember, but I told him I cannot take you seriously because you don't pay any of my fucking bills. That's why I'm not taking shit that you're saying seriously. This motherfucker gonna say, this is why women end up alone. I said, what women do you know that are ending up alone? He was like, that's the shit that I see when I'm watching those videos. Because he started to watch just not only Kevin, but he was watching, you know, other influencers who had the same type of content. So I told him, this is where I had to break it down for him a little bit. I hadn't hurt his feelings. I didn't really want to do it, but I'm just like, you getting out of fucking hand. Like, you really getting out of line. I was like, I don't know why someone like you is watching content from people like them. You, first of all, don't have the same money as them. You don't have the same lifestyle as them. You don't have the resources they have, and you don't have the platform they have. So why the fuck is someone like you being influenced by someone like that? You.
She thought she ate. She thought she ate in this situation. First and foremost, what we already know is the fact that she don't respect him. She didn't respect him as her boyfriend. That's one. That's one. We already know that. We can see it, right? For two, why wouldn't he listen to men that are in positions that he probably would want to be in? Yeah, if he didn't have the finances, well, we all know who Kevin Samuels was. He was also talking about men and how men need to level up and get and become better, how they need to work 60 plus hours or 80 plus hours a week, and they need to be on their grind and become the best version of themselves. They need to be in the gym. They need to focus on their hygiene. They need to make sure they're always clean cut. What did they call them? They call them Henrys, right? The guys who are working to build and grow and become the best version of themselves, the Henrys. So when he started to listen to these type of guys, he started to look at things from a different perspective and not just a one-sided viewpoint. This is the thing. This was the issue with a lot of people. When they started, this is why a lot of women hated Kevin Samuels, because he kept it honest with them. That's why chicks like her would not. That's why chicks like her would definitely, if she was to go on his platform, make Kevin Samuels rest in peace, he would obliterate her. Because first and foremost, y'all already know what's the first thing they're gonna ask: what's your weight? What's your dress size? And right out the gate, she don't qualify. Cool, you got your own job. And what? And this right here is a thing that I advocate for men. Don't ever live with the woman if you ain't got your shit together. Don't ever live with a girl. Don't ever move in. Don't ever move in with a woman. Don't ever move in with a woman. Get your own shit. If you got to go back to mom and dad crib, go back to mom and dad crib, stack your shit up, build your shit up, become the best version of yourself, and then you pop out. She ain't even, I'm sorry, she ain't even worth the salt for you to even be tripping over. Who is this? Who checking for her? And the fact that, if anything, you want to pour into, you know what? Take the bone, take the meat and spit out the bones. I love the fact that you're listening to these type of men, because they are in a position, as you can see, she understands that these guys that he was listening to are in a position, are in a higher position. They're making more money. They have the platform. They're intelligent. All these different things. So why won't you, as a woman, listen to them, take out the meat. Take out the meat and spit out the bones. Simple.
A grown-ass man, almost into his 30s, because at this point he was like 29, 28 or something like that. Almost into his 30s, you're listening to another grown man. You don't have your own ideology set. You don't have your own morals and values to follow. You're letting somebody else that don't even fucking know that you exist influence you. And you're a grown-ass man. You try to say you're a grown-ass man. That's fucking crazy. I didn't understand that. I really didn't. Because, yeah, social media is fun, but I cannot say I've ever been influenced by a fucking creator on here. Because, bitch, if you're trying to sell me some shit and I don't want it, I'm going to keep fucking scrolling. If it sounds like some shit that don't sound right, I'm going to let you know what don't sound right. But it's hardly ever I get influenced by somebody on here. And this grown-ass man wants me to take him serious. The one that's getting influenced.
So I guarantee she's been influenced by somebody. She's been influenced by somebody on TikTok. I guarantee you, because she's on TikTok, for her to even get on here and make a video, she's been influenced by somebody to get on here and make a TikTok. She fucking lying, bro. You think, nigga, I don't believe her. Cause I guarantee you, she thinks she a baddie. I guarantee you, you ask her right now. You can go and find her right now. Go and find her page. What is it? It's called Earthbound_babe. You can go find her and tell her to come over here. I guarantee you, she probably thinks she a baddie. She probably thinks she all that in a bag of fucking chips. Miss Piggy, sit the fuck down somewhere.
Influenced by somebody, the one that don't pay bills. You want me to take you serious? What the fuck? I said you need to stop listening to the motherfuckers because they got you fucked up. And now you got me fucked up. He just shut the fuck up. He didn't say nothing else. He didn't say shit after that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk to you when I get home. And I hung up. And that was the end of that conversation. I should have known that that was going to be a problem. Okay. Now, another thing too, if you have a boyfriend that has, and this is not all of them. This is not all of them. This was just the one that I had. And there are many others that are like him. Okay. So please don't get this confused. Do not run with this shit. Okay. Sometimes men, where they have an absence of a father in their life, if he sees a man talking about things that other men respond well to, then he will also try to adopt their ideas, adopt that behavior.
That's why it's called the manosphere. So men can talk the way that they talk. It's kind of like being in the barbershop, right? Because if he didn't have a father in his life, guess what? You relate. You're able to take the meat and spout the bones from guys like Kevin Samuels, guys like Anton Daniels, guys like who else we got out here? THPP. Who else? Other guys? All the guys that's in the manosphere. What's the names? Guys like Fresh and Fit, or what's it? MTR. Shit, guys like myself. You feel me? I grew up with the father in the household, so I understand. Angry Man, there you go. With guys like that. So when you understand that, and I grew up with the father in the household, so I understand what it means to be a father. I understand what it means to be a man. I understand those different things. And so for me, when I see other men who start to look at guys like Kevin Samuels and Anton Daniels, and they start to understand, like, you know what? I never looked at shit like that before. Lead attorney, exactly. When you start to look at people like this, and these guys who never grew up with the father, and they see how these masculine men who are going to talk their talk regardless of what people say, they're going to say the hard truth. They're going to give you the hard truth, no filter. Then a lot of women get upset at the fact of what these men say. And guess what they say? Here's the biggest thing that they say. Well, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. I beg your pardon. It's not what you said, it's the delivery. It's the delivery in and how you said it. Fuck all that. We don't care about the delivery. We're gonna tell you what it is. We're gonna give it to you straight cut. Cold chaser, baby. We're gonna give it to you. No matter how you like it. And so that's one of the reasons. And then that's it. Next thing you know, that's why they go to all the shaming tactics. That's why they were trying to call Kevin Samuels gay. They were trying to call everything. Every single thing. Every fucking time. It never fucking fails. And it's always the but. Never. You know what? Let me keep playing this video if I go crazy.
Because they think that a man is teaching them something that they don't know. Because they didn't have one growing up. So now they're looking for that. Is what I'm trying to say. I hope I said
that's the point, ain't it? Isn't that the point, to help men to open their eyes? That you don't need to simp over mediocre box. Correct. That's the point. To simp over shit like this, that you can do better, that you deserve better, young blood. You 25 years old, you still around here chasing over box. You looking at you. Look, just look who's talking. Look who's talking. Look. That's all I'm saying. Just look at it.
Said that right. My thing is this though, if you're gonna listen to them type of people, you gotta make sure everything else in your life matches up with them too.
No, okay? No. That's how you get better. That's how you level up. That's how you learn. Because guess what? You don't know what the fuck you don't know until you listen to somebody else who's in the position and where you want to fucking be. And it's like, oh shit, I didn't know you supposed to move like this. Well, I need to figure my fucking, I need to get my shit together as a man, because I can say as for myself, there were certain things that I didn't fucking know until I listened to Kevin Samuels, until I started to listen to Anton Daniels. There were certain things that I just didn't know. But the reason why I resonated with them easy is because I already had the mindset. I already had the thought processes. There was just certain little things that I needed to implement in my life to improve it even more. And it's the little shit, little things. When you talk about hygiene, you talk about the type of money you made, when you talk about investing, when you talk about when you're presenting yourself in the room, the way that you're supposed to present yourself, the way that you dress, all of these different things. A lot of these things I already knew out the gate, but there was just small little nuggets. Like, I never thought about doing this. Let me start doing this. Let me add this to my regimen. Let me start focusing on, making sure I take care of my skin a little bit more. That's not just for women. Let me make sure I start taking care of the detailed things about myself. What are we talking about? What the fuck is she talking about?
Hey, not just your mentality about women. You got to make sure your finances match up. You got to make sure your looks match up. You got to make sure all the decisions that you make in your life got to match up with theirs too. See, it's more than just having, an influenced mind, right? If you really feel like how that person feels and you want your life to reflect that, you want to move how they move, you got to have your whole life looking just like how theirs look. No. And his life wasn't looking like that. Okay, like I said, he wasn't doing anything other than the bare minimum. And I really do feel like that was the beginning of the end, tip of the iceberg. Also, it's no shade to Kevin Samuels. I know that man passed away. I'm not trying to disrespect him, but that was part of my story. Also, I do want to say this, okay? I saw some comments in my last video that they were saying I was rage baiting. Bitch, this ain't no fucking rage baiting. I told you what the fuck happened and I left. I hardly even responded to most of the comments on there because most people thought that I was just saying shit just because I wanted to get reactions. No, I gave my confessional, my testimonial, and I fucking left. Like, there really is nothing else, to rage bait about. I told y'all a story that happened to me, and that's it. But yeah, y'all, tip of the iceberg. Have y'all ever had a relationship?
Y'all see, and then look at the people in the comments. You can't lose your boyfriend to manosphere content. Manosphere content saved you from a man whose character is as shaky as a belly dancer. Then you got a sim guy. Kevin Samuels died alone. No, he didn't. He didn't die alone. Absolutely not. Everything that comes out of their mouth is projection. No, it's not projection. It's called. This is why a lot of these people who talk and they go against the grain, they never been outside. A lot of these cats don't know how to talk to people. They never interacted with people. They don't know how to interact with people. A lot of these niggas are incels. You think men just come out the fucking woodwork and just start talking shit? They got to get the information from somewhere. Kevin Samuels was one of those people who got the information because why? He was a consultant. He talked to these high level individuals. So that's why he was able to have the inside information to give these women who talk about, I want a 6-figure man. I need a man that's doing X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, 3, and A, B, and C. Well, okay, that's cool. But here's the other side of that. You need to make sure that you meet the requirements to get that type of man. You just not just gonna get him just because you say that you want it. You 400, shorty, you 5 foot fucking 4, 250 fucking pounds. How the fuck you gonna get a man how you gonna get a top tier man when he got the pick of the fucking litter? He think he gonna pick you? What are we talking about? You talking about a man that's in the top percent of men. You said you want him fit. So again, that number gets even harder because he becomes the upper echelon of men. To dress well, smell good, all these different things, has character, all of these different things that you want in a man. This whole laundry list full of shit that y'all want in a man. And you think your basic looking ass is gonna get somebody like that. And then you telling other men who want to better themselves, who are able to listen to other men, who want to listen to other men, because like you said, apparently he didn't have a father in his life. So therefore, what's the next best thing? You look to somebody who projects that energy as a masculine man, and you listen to him and the things that he's saying. And again, you don't have to always agree with everything that they say, but most of it you may align with the thought process. It's like, well, shit, I didn't even know you're supposed to move like this as a man. But then when you see the results of these individuals, it's like, well, shit, how the fuck do I get to that point? Then you start listening in more intently to these men. And then when you start moving in that way that they're talking, you start to see how your life start to change. Things start to change for the better. You start to dress well. You start to look better. You start to focus on you a little bit more. You stop focusing on where the hoes at. Shit, I'm just trying to bust something down. You ain't focused on that shit no more, because guess what? Once you become the best version of yourself, them hoes gonna throw themselves at you. You ain't gotta chase it. They gonna be flocking. So what you talking about? So I don't know who broke up with who. I think she broke up with him, or he broke up with her, whichever one. But if she broke up with him, she did him a favor. And he lucked up and got out of that situation while he could. Because she didn't respect him at all. And you could tell just by the story. Any woman who gets online and then started talking shit about her ex-boyfriend, she never respected him out the gate. Never. Because a woman who truly respects you, she understands, regardless of the fact if she says your name, any of that, because I'm pretty sure the people that she was around or her friends, they know exactly who she's talking about. Because I'm pretty sure she had conversations about this man to her friends. So it is what it is, bro. Like, nah, that's why a lot of times you can't listen to certain women. You cannot listen to certain women. When you look at their profiles and you understand why they have the mindset that they have. And he's like, oh, there it is. I see why. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification, dog. And let me know what y'all think about this. So I want to go to this next topic, man. It's a little pivot. Breaking news, tsunami going on in Hawaii, and this shit reaching all the fucking way to the US. I think in California, right? I think it's out here in California. So we're gonna dive into this a little bit and look at this shit, right? Because this shit is crazy. You hear me?
Господи, боже мой! А у нас землетрясение.
I'm sorry for stopping it, but why y'all taking pictures of this shit? Why y'all got y'all cameras and phones out? Do y'all know how fast I would have been up out of there? I would have done my best to get the fuck up out of there as fast as I could. Fuck pulling the phone out. If anything, I probably would have lost the damn phone. Man, you crazy. Boy. No fucking sir. Absolutely not. Listen, one thing about me, two things for sure. Listen, dog, I'm not doing no water. I can't do water, bro. I cannot do water. Water is not my thing, bro. Water is not my thing. Let's look at what NBC got to say.
a tsunami warning for all of Hawaii, parts of Alaska, and a tsunami watch for the entire West Coast following a massive 8.7 magnitude earthquake that rocked eastern Russia. In Hawaii, the National Weather Service says a series of powerful waves and strong currents may impact coasts on all of the islands. Residents and vacationers there have received an alert on their phones, alerting them that they are in danger, that they should get away from coastal waters and move to high ground or inland. Now, one alert is telling people to get to the 4th floor of buildings or higher. The estimated arrival time for the first tsunami wave in Hawaii is at 7:17 p.m. local time. Warning sirens are expected to go off shortly. Now, parts of Alaska are also under a tsunami warning. Here on the West Coast, a watch is in effect from the Mexico border all the way north to Washington state. This is the lowest level of the warning center's alert system, and that means that while the threat is not really known yet, residents should be prepared to take action if needed. And if generated, tsunami waves are not expected on the West Coast until late tonight or early tomorrow morning. This all comes after that huge earthquake that struck off the eastern coast of Russia, prompting evacuations and reportedly damaging buildings. The governor of the region said that the earthquake was very serious and the strongest one there in decades.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news.
I'll say this though. I'll definitely.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000?
Well, it's called a
Because
Mojo
I
Jojo.
use
It's called a
Amazon
reaction video,
AI.
buddy.
I'm going to show you.
It's called a reaction video. See, if you would have been here on time, then you will understand how this shit works. You understand me? So I'm letting the videos play out first before I then give my thoughts and opinions on it. See, that's why you should be here on time. Moving on. Listen, bro, I'll tell you one thing, though. I'll tell you one thing about this. That's one of the reasons I don't really care about going to I don't really care about going to Hawaii. I really don't. I really don't care. I really don't. Nor, even though California is gorgeous, I don't care too much about it. Because listen, I always have that one thought. I know you can't live your life in fear, because I don't necessarily live my life in fear. I live my life in the sense of, listen, the final destination outlook of things, right? Even though some of it could be true, but there's a lot of times free accidents happen. You never know, right? But then I look at preventative maintenance. It's one of the reasons why I don't go on cruises. Listen, that's a lot of body of water to be on a cruise. That's a lot of body. I know plenty of people have gone on it. Nah, family. Nah, family. Listen, I love to swim. I love water. As long as it's in the pool, I'm not getting in no ocean. I'm not doing it. I don't know what's underneath that water. I can't see it for nothing. I'm not getting in. It's a great view from a balcony somewhere, but I'm not getting in no water, bro. And that's one of the reasons I had to move from Alabama. I don't want to be in a state where there are hurricanes, bro. We're right by the water. They hate Caucasians. Said Mojo Joe said, no 1 a.m. my ass should be sleeping. However, I was directed to a certain someone to stop by and show some love. Side note, Hawaii is the most beautiful place in the world, and they love black. Hey, that's cool. Hey, that's a wonderful thing. But they can love me from afar. I'm not going over there. I ain't got no reason to go over there. I'll be honest with you, bro. I ain't got no reason to go over there. Cool. They can love me from afar. But I ain't got no reason to go over there. That's dope. But nah, that's one of the reasons I moved from Alabama, bro. All the hurricanes, I'm not doing it. That's one of the reasons I never wanted to move to Florida. I've visited Florida before. I kicked it in Florida before. Went to Orlando, did all of that good stuff. It was dope. But I couldn't live there. Just like I couldn't live back in Alabama because of the hurricanes. I actually went through Katrina. I was living in Alabama during the Katrina. That shit was crazy. And I didn't even we got the side effects of Katrina, and that shit was still bad. So just imagine being in New Orleans where that shit happened. Boy, nah. Because most of all those people who were in New Orleans, they moved to Mobile. A lot of them moved to Mobile because I think that's like a 2-hour drive from Mobile where I was from. So New Orleans to Mobile, Alabama is like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Yeah, bro, we got all the side effects of that shit. That's why I'm like, nah, you good. And same thing with the Midwest. You got tornadoes and shit, bro. Nah, I'm good in Arizona. I'm good in Arizona, bro. I can deal with the heat. All I gotta do is stay inside where the AC is at until shit cool the fuck down. If I'm gonna keep it a bean. Well, Mojo, the only thing that Mother Nature has found out here is a lot of rain, which ain't really did nothing out here in Arizona. They need it more than anything in Arizona. You get a lot of heat out here in Arizona, but you don't get anything that's remotely crazy to an earthquake or a tsunami or fucking hurricanes. I'll take the heat. I'll definitely take the heat. The winter times is more like springtime out this bitch. I'll take that. I'll take my chances. And then you ain't got to worry about tornadoes. All you got to worry about is a little dust storm. Boom, you just walk in, you get like a little dust storm and just kind of move you a little bit. All right, come on. I'll take that any day. To my car bumper. You appreciate you popping in though, Mojo. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, we'll stop it right there. Like it's just showing the progression of that fucking storm. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. And for the people that's over there in Hawaii, man, you know what I'm saying? My prayers go out to them. I hope everybody gets where they need to get to safely, and I hope that all lives are spared over there, bro, because that shit ain't nothing to play with, bro. That water ain't nothing to play with, dog. Tsunamis ain't nothing to fucking play with on any level. You hear me? Nope. I'm good. Hawaii is beautiful. It's a gorgeous place. I agree. But nah, it's a no for me, dog. It's a no. It's a no for me. It is a no for me. So yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure I hit that bell notification, dog, and let me know what y'all think. So let's go to this next topic, man. Shannon Sharpe. Yeah, Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has been fired from ES motherfucking PN. Has initially been fired from ESPN, bro. So let's go ahead and get into it. We kind of saw it coming anyway, but
the first head on the left on Mount Rushmore. The first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
The blasphemy coming out of your mouth.
ET can confirm Shannon Sharpe out at ESPN, less than 2 weeks after settling a $50 million lawsuit with an ex who accused him of rape.
I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about.
Sharpe hadn't appeared on the network since the suit was filed more than 3 months ago and planned to return for the start of the NFL preseason. He was less than a year into a new multi-year deal. ESPN has declined to comment. ET has also reached out to Sharpe's legal team. In the 13-page complaint obtained by ET in April, Sharpe's ex-girlfriend claimed she was raped by the Hall of Fame tight end several times at the end of last year and the beginning of 2025. She also said he threatened to kill her, beat her up, and recorded sexual encounters without her consent.
My career is all about real talk and honesty. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right.
In the end, the accuser's attorney says, quote, both sides acknowledged a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship. A resolution was reached after respectful negotiations. The terms of the settlement haven't been disclosed.
I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again?
This comes amid reports that the Club Shay Shay host may be negotiating a substantial deal for his media empire, expected to exceed $100 million. It's unclear how this news could affect his payout.
You really are the best. You've proven it here today.
God damn, Mr. Shannon Sharpe has officially been let go from ESPN. But I'll say this, though. He was already out the door when he removed himself when this shit started to pop off. He already removed himself. It just wasn't official yet. Because you got to think, ESPN is owned by Disney. So if anything, you need to be squeaky clean. Not even an allegation on you needs to be had. Even if there's a smidget of an allegation, you out the door. Just like literally just like the same shit that happened with Johnny Depp. And I'm not sure. Can somebody confirm with me? Is FS1, aren't they under ESPN too? Aren't they under that same umbrella? Correct me if I'm wrong. Before I make the statement that I was gonna make. But yeah, If anything, because personally, me personally, I say, listen, I know, okay, they're under Fox. Okay, I appreciate you. So my thing is this. First and foremost, I still stand on what I said about Shannon Sharpe. Let the man do what he want to do. If he want to buzz down a 20-year-old, he can buzz down a 20-year-old. She of age. It is what it is. That don't necessarily mean that I'll do it, but I'm just saying she's legal. It is what it is, right? I'm not gonna sit here and advocate for a 70 or 60-something-year-old man and say, "Hey, bro, you need to be looking for these little young tenderonis. You need to be busting them down." No, if it just so happened, and hey, man, you know what I'm saying, do what you do, fam. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying too. And it's crazy that's the irony of it. Disney plays this there as if they're so squeaky clean, but they got a lot of bullshit too. They got a lot of propaganda that they throwing out there. They got a lot of shit going on. You know, a lot of this inclusive nature. Yeah. They got a lot of that going on over there. A lot of that. A lot of the LGBTQ plus community, all that shit going on over there. But nothing has gotten out. So therefore, they try to keep that image of this is kid friendly. We're going to keep everything. We're going to keep everything squeaky clean. We're not going to. Nope. Any allegations? You're done. Any allegations, you're done. But to be fair, to be 100% fair, I'm glad that he walked away. I'm glad that he's getting out of it because now he can 100% focus on his platform and build that shit and grow. Because I think he's still gonna be straight, bro. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be all right because you already know once you start to get to a certain level, people are always trying to find something to come back on you with. They're always trying to bring you down for whatever fucking reason. It's always fucking something. He gonna be straight. That's one. Because his platform gonna do numbers regardless. He gonna do numbers regardless. So he's straight. I don't necessarily think he needed ESPN in the first place. So he's good. But also I have to hold these other women accountable. And the reason I have to hold them accountable, Shorty, you already an OF, you already an OnlyFans. You already put yourself in that position. Why are you out here trying to snake and get money from other men? Why are you doing that? If you want to get buzzed down, let the man bust you down. You keep it pushing. Why we being scandalous out here in these streets? Why we doing that? Why? What do you say? Paper said that's the problem. Trying to make everything family friendly. Everything family friendly, too wholesome. I agree with you, Paper. I agree with you. I mean, but there are situations where you need to, because people got kids, so you got to be mindful of that. So I do understand that. But again, I do think that it was a great idea. It's good that he's not with ESPN anymore, so he can just focus on his shit and build that up. I am the Richard Snow Bunny. Off topic, if you can get it in. We have what? So we know. Off topic, if you can get it in, we discuss how and why YouTube is the best platform for monetization. If you can, I was trying to explain earlier, not versed enough. Okay, I got you. Just remind me a little later. I'll go into it a little bit. I'll definitely go into a little bit. But yeah, man. But overall though, I'm just glad all the shit's over with. And I think, all this shit's gonna die down. Shannon gonna keep doing what he was doing. He just had I think he just finished, he just had a show with his brother. Literally just had a show with his brother, man. And then he just had that dope show with the old girl from who played for LSU, who was playing on Andrew Reese's team. So I mean, his platform is gonna be straight. Eventually, all the sponsors, they're gonna come back. You're gonna start to see the sponsors come back. They gotta let shit die down first. Y'all already know how this shit works. He gonna be straight. He gonna be good. He had to come out of pocket a little bit, but he's straight, bro. All I'm gonna say is you just gotta be careful. When you got this type of money, you need to vet properly, bro. You need to be a little bit more careful. Go ahead and get you a little older tenor on, and go ahead and get you a little 35-year-old and bust that down. Don't even worry about anything under 30. Don't even mess with it. Anything under 30, don't even mess with it. Just 35 and over. 35 and older. That's it. 35 and older. Stick to that. It is what it is, bro. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure I hit that bell notification, bro. So the main topic for tonight, the big main topic, Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas has been arrested for illegal gambling, illegal poker game. Now, before I go, I want to put up this article first before I play the video. Got to pull up the article, so I'm gonna read it a little bit. We finna get into it. This shit's crazy though. This shit crazy. I didn't expect that to happen, but it's just wild. It's kind of wild. So Gilbert Arenas was arrested Wednesday in connection with a federal indictment that alleges the former NBA star hosted illegal high-stakes poker games at his mansion in Encino, California, according to a release from United States Attorney's Office of Central California. Arenas is officially charged with 1 count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, 1 count of operating an illegal gambling business, and 1 count of making false statements to federal investigators. He appeared in U.S. District Court on Wednesday afternoon in downtown Los Angeles, was released on $50,000 bond after pleading not guilty to the charges. His trial is scheduled for September 23rd. That is crazy, bro. His attorney, Jerome Friedberg, said outside the courthouse that he hadn't had much time to speak with his client and couldn't comment on his behalf. Couldn't comment on the case. At this point in the case, he is presumed innocent, right? Friedberg said he has the same right as any other citizen to the presumption, and that's how he should be treated. I don't know how to say that name. Yevgeny Giora Gershman, a suspected high-level member of an Israeli organized crime group, and 4 other associates also were indicted and arrested in connection with the alleged illegal business, which prosecutors say operated from September 2021 to July 2022. According to the indictment, Arenas rented out his Encino house, and one of his associates staged the mansion for the poker games, recruited co-conspirators to host and collect the rent from the co-conspirators on Arenas' behalf. The indictment alleges that Gershman and the other defendants ran illegal pot limit Omaha poker games, among others, which collected a cut from each pot contested. Let's see how many more we got. All right, so prosecutors say that the group hired chefs, valets, and armed security guards to staff the games, as well as young women who served drinks, provided massages, and offered companionship to the poker players in exchange for tips, and that the co-conspirators took a cut of the service tips from the games. It was unclear as of Wednesday who the players in the games were. The U.S. Attorney's Office declined further comment. If convicted, Arenas and other defendants would face a statutory maximum sentence of 5 years in federal prison for each count. Ooh, shit. This is not the first time Arenas found himself in trouble related to card games. In December 2009, Arenas and Washington Wizards teammate Javarius Crittenton were involved in the indictment or incident where they brought guns into the locker room. Yeah, we remember that, which Arenas later said was the result of trash talk from a car game on a team flight. Arenas 43 last played in the NBA. All right, that's enough of that. Man, God damn. Why you doing that, Arenas? Yeah, bro, bro, that's crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can, but fuck me, bro. Like, I'm not even trying to put myself in that position, bro. Real talk. I'm not trying to put myself in that position. I'll just go to a casino. If we're gonna do it, $5 a head, we're gonna keep it small, bro.
Has been charged with allegedly running a high-end illegal gambling business out of a Los Angeles mansion where high-stakes poker games are played. Now, Arenas and a half dozen others are scheduled to be arraigned on several charges in Los Angeles. And ABC News' Alex Stone has more for us. Alex?
Kana, yeah, Gilbert Arenas is a big name, former NBA star, played on the Warriors, the Wizards, the Magic, a number of different teams. And these charges coming as a surprise. He's been in the news recently because his son, who is a star USC recruit, was in a Tesla truck crash and was injured in that. So their name has been around. Gilbert Arenas does a number of podcasts and other things now. So he's quite well known even after his NBA time. But what federal prosecutors are alleging is that he has been running this high-level illegal poker operation out of a home in the Encino area of LA, and not just having a couple of buddies come by and play poker, but that this was a very well-planned out, well-organized operation with 5 other co-conspirators involved in this, including a member of an Israeli transnational crime group, according to federal prosecutors. But they say that this was something where they had hired women who would help out in the operation and give what they call companionship to those who were playing in the game, that they had armed security guards, that they had chefs that were hired for all of these, and that a lot of money was involved. They had security guards to make sure the wrong people weren't getting into all of this. They had a rake, a fee, the house charges. So they say this was well organized. All were arrested today. A number of agencies involved. Arenas was arrested today as well, facing charges that, if convicted, everybody involved could get 5 years in federal prison. Kana?
Wow, quite the discovery there, Alex Stoner. Thanks to you.
Bruh, that is fucking
Genes are passed down from parents.
Listen, that shit is fucking wild. You hear me? That shit is fucking wild. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The more and more shit that continues to keep popping up, the more I keep looking at, hey man, maybe Cat Williams was right, bro. Maybe Cat Williams was right at the beginning of the year. Because it's raining on a lot of motherfuckers this year, boy. A lot of people getting caught up in some shit, dog. A lot of people getting caught up in some shit this year, bro. Big names. I'm talking about everybody. We got who we had. We had first, it started with, we had Jay-Z, Diddy, Gilbert Arenas, Shannon Sharp, Joy Taylor, and shit, whoever else can. I'm pretty sure I'm missing some people, but man, fuck me, bro. No Diddy. Niggas is getting caught up. They better be careful out here in these streets, bro. You think he pay paper? You think he going to jail? I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think he gonna go. I don't think he gonna go to jail. I can be 100%. I can be 100% wrong, and you can tell me that I was wrong. But I don't think he gonna go. I don't. I think he gonna get out of it. If anything, he gonna be on probation. If anything, he'll get probation. I'll keep it a buck. If anything, I think he'll get probation. If anything. I honestly don't think so. And I said that, and I said that's just my opinion. I could be 100% wrong on that. Y'all let me know what y'all think, bro. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. So I want to pivot over here to this next topic. The government just wants their cut in. I think that's what I think too. I think that the government, it probably has something to do with the government. You know what I'm saying? Just because, they ain't getting nothing out of it. They out here gambling in people's houses, thousands of dollars being exchanged. Then you operating like it's a fucking business, and you ain't got no LLC, you ain't got all the infrastructure and all that shit going on, like the casinos, even though the fucking casino in itself was pretty much started by drug dealers and gang members and the mob and all that shit too. So I mean, come on, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's probably all that's gonna happen. They're gonna make them pay some taxes, pay some fees. It's like, all right, bro, here you go, man. Take your bread, dog. You want some money out the situation. Here you go. Boom, boom, boom. Give me a slap on the wrist, or put the ankle monitor on my leg for a couple months. I'ma chill, I'ma kick it. I'll run Gil's Arena through from the crib. I'll still be running up the numbers over there. So I mean, we straight. And so that probably makes sense why I ain't seen him posting the videos lately. Seeing Gil's Arena's videos lately. Makes sense. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. So Sydney Sweeney, American Eagle. Everybody got something to say about this fucking ad that American Eagle had with Sydney Sweeney. Now, for those of you who don't know who Sydney Sweeney is, she is a singer. I think she's a pop singer, a white woman. And yeah. Of course, y'all already know who the ones complaining, but I ain't gonna say. I'm just gonna let y'all be the judge of it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring,
often determining traits like hair color, personality,
and even eye color.
My genes are blue.
Doja Cat parodying Sydney Sweeney's latest endorsement deal.
It's crazy. If you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you.
Obviously inspired by those classic Brooke Shields ads.
You want to know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing. As far as the criticism, I just think it's just like any other criticism. You'll get people will say that they like the commercials or what you're doing, and then other people say that they don't. But
now, that was a controversial campaign back in the 80s, mostly because Brooke was only 15 at the time. So this time, it has more to do with the messaging.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
You see what I did there, right?
The whole jeans wordplay being called a nod to eugenics by some critics, despite similar jokes being used in other ads by other brands in the past.
I got Tommy jeans. What else? He's not my dad, but I got Tommy jeans. I think that it's just figuring it out day by day. I'm still learning.
Meanwhile, others like Doja are just there to poke fun at Sydney's line delivery.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring,
often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Interesting. So I'm gonna play this next video from Piers Morgan, and yeah, they finna get into it. So yeah, we gonna spend a little time on this one though. We gonna spend a little time. So let's go ahead and get to it, dog.
My jeans are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
I was frankly angered. The ad.
I'm skipping here. I want to get into it.
Shaming them instead. You are an embarrassment, Sydney Sweeney.
It's not just excitable people on social media who are losing their minds on this one. Even Good Morning America is wondering whether Sydney's great genes may herald the onset of a new Fourth Reich.
We begin with the backlash over a new ad campaign featuring actress Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, the ads are for American Eagle, and the tagline is, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Now, in one ad, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress talks about genes as in DNA being passed down from her parents.
The play on words is being compared to Nazi propaganda with racial undertones.
So is Sydney Sweeney the new poster girl for white supremacy, or is it all, as one commentator put it, just ugly girl jealousy? Well, turning to my panel now, I'm away from my usual studio, working on a slight delay. So I'll begin with a polite request for everyone to allow the audience to enjoy all of your insights. I'm joined by Jedediah Bila, the host of the Jedediah Bila Show, by the conservative influencer Deborah Lee, academic and host of Bet News, Martin Hill, and the author of Cultural Intelligence for Marketers, Dr. Anastasia Gabriel. Well, welcome to all of you. Okay, let me start with you, Dr. Anastasia. What's your problem with this ad? I mean, I just saw Sydney Sweeney looking hot, selling jeans. What memo didn't I get?
I would love to live in a world where more people would have the privilege to look at this ad and simply see an ad for great jeans, but that's not the world that we live in. And we live in the world that is marked with a lot of cultural baggage. So when I saw this ad as a marketer, somebody who works with agencies and brands on issues of culture and cultural relevance, I was frankly angered. And the reason for that is that the ad is racist and eugenics coded. And I have to be clear that when I say that, I don't mean to talk about the intent of the creators behind this ad, but rather the impact that it has on audiences, and particularly on younger audiences. And here we need to remember that the target audience of American Eagle is the most racially and ethnically diverse consumer group in the history of the United States. And somebody who has spent a lot of time studying semiotics and the way that meaning is encoded in various forms of media and cultural artifacts, it becomes very clear to me that when we take apart this particular ad campaign, it marries certain concepts and certain words that carry cultural baggage for people. And if that wasn't enough, we can go back and look to the source material for this particular campaign, which is a Calvin Klein ad from 1980 that uses very explicitly the same kind of rhetoric of, and even more so rather dramatically, natural selection, survival of the fittest, selective mating, the superiority of.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question real quick. If it was a black woman, or if it was a Hispanic woman, if it was an Asian woman, if it was a Pakistani, an Iranian, or whatever other race outside of a white woman, and they did the exact same commercial, they did the exact same way, nothing changes but the skin color and the person. That's it. Nothing else changes. Would there be an issue? Would there be an issue? Would there be a problem? Because it only seems to be a problem every time, and this is why a lot of people, this is why a lot of white people are getting tired. They're getting tired, bro, and they starting to just say fuck whatever y'all talking about. So mind you, nigga, I wore American Eagle jeans when I was in college, bro. I threw them hoes on. You feel me? I was rocking them bitches. Shirts and all. I was rocking the fuck out of them because that was just the style then. I was rocking them. If you had American Eagle jeans on, nigga, you was doing something. And I'm from the South. And I gotta keep throwing that in there just because I know there are different styles in different areas. But at one point, nigga, American Eagle jeans was the it jeans, bro. Wasn't nobody rocking no Levi's. They was like, hey, bro, I'm throwing these American Eagle jeans on. Shit, what's popping with it? With some J's on or some Forces, and I got the American Eagle shirt on to go with it. You feel me? We out here. You feel me? Why are we making such a big deal out of this?
Dominant groups, etc. And from a perspective of media and cultural studies, when we look at this particular campaign, we can see how meaning travels from the source of inspiration to this particular narrative structure that we see in this ad. And so it is no surprise to me that it was picked up by audiences that reacted in the way that they did. And research shows, even though obviously Gen Z are in themselves a diverse group, they're also generally on average more progressive leaning and of course chronically online.
Crazy. You mean crazy?
Anastasia,
I mean,
Anastasia, we haven't had you on our censor before. I didn't really understand a word of what you've just said. Are you this much fun at parties, or do you have a different persona?
I would love
there?
it if you weren't disrespectful to me. It's a pleasure to join you today, and I look forward to exchanging opinions. I would love to clarify any points that you might have found confusing.
Anastasia,
Okay,
you would have to be asked-
Deborah Lee.
I
Let me bring Deborah Lee in. This is a terrible example of racist white supremacy, etc. I sort of lost my thread halfway through it, but this is apparently the worst ad ever seen. I mean, this is the Nazis reborn.
That is just crazy to me. And for people to have this reaction to this ad, when I first saw this ad, this is giving a Super Bowl, okay? This is shot very well. This is very creative for an ad agency. I don't know where that information is coming from, that they're the most diverse group and their clientele is the most diverse in the entire world, the entire country. But if that were the case, then this would be a great ad to appeal to a new base. Heterosexual straight men who see a hot woman and they think, wow, that's great. I want to support this company. And for the record, Sydney Sweeney is a brunette. She has brown hair. So everybody's saying she's an Aryan, blonde hair, blue eyes. It's not true. Look at her roots. Look at her eyebrows. It takes 5 seconds to do a Google search of Sydney Sweeney's natural hair color. And while I have my own opinions about this ad, I don't really have the palate for sexual ads. As a traditional conservative, I think if you have an issue with this and you're saying that this is a Nazi dog whistle, as a Jewish woman, when the Nazis created ads in their propaganda, it was not using hot women who are traditionally hot to try and attract people to become Nazis. It was saying that the Jews are vermin, that we're trying to take over the world. To try and compare the two is outrageous because the left will call everything Nazism and say everybody's a Nazi, except for the actual Nazis chanting from the river to the sea, Palestine shall be free, reiterating the same talking points that we've seen since World War II. So I just really don't understand where any of this information or reaction is coming from. People have way too much time on their hands. Get a job, get a life. Stop being triggered by thin, white, hot women. Just let it be. Enjoy. You guys had Lizzo in an ad when she was 400 pounds modeling for Calvin Klein jeans. She's since lost weight because she even realized that being that size is not healthy for any individual.
I beg your
and
pardon?
it's really just targeted towards happy, straight, white women. They don't want to have these people in ads. We've had every single TV show, every single advertisement has somebody who's been put in simply for being gay in the last couple of years. That's the only reason that they've been put into the storyline. And so now we just have what we would deem normal, and the left is trying to brand this as abnormal. It's not taking, and the people that are trying to push this is the reason that the Democratic Party is continuing to fail in popularity.
Damn.
One thing that I have in common with Harry and Meghan is that we all value.
Hey, she just cooked. God damn. I ain't gonna hold you. She just cooked. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's what they want to see. This is the shit that they want to see. Just like that statue that they put in New York, that big ass statue, you got a woman who built like this, standing with her hands on her hips. Nobody's attracted to her. Just there, because it represents, oh, so you want to be represented as big and obese. That's what you want to be. Instead of trying to become the best version of yourself, that's what you want. You want to be represented. Then you got this joint. Then you got this joint right here. And like old girl said, if you look at the roots right here, look at this joint right here. You can tell she ain't a blonde. You can tell she's not a blonde. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. She's a brunette. She's a bruni. He said, nobody want no flat spot couch pillow booty. Hold on. Hold on. You talking about here? You talking about here? Because if you had to choose, nigga, I'm choosing right, not left. I'm choosing right, not left, and no, it ain't got shit to do with race. It's pure attraction. Pure attraction. Choosing right, not left. But that's the American way. Hey, listen, I'm picking right. Pick right before I pick left. At least you ain't got to worry about health issues for the most part. Left got the lazy buns, facts.
Which was in the middle of the whole Me Too campaign and stuff. Do you have any problem with the lady on the left there?
Do I have a problem with her? No, I don't have a problem with her.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem
You're
with
not offended by that image?
I'm not.
Fascinating.
No.
You do have a problem with the woman on the right.
No, hold on. Two things. One, you specifically said, let's not interrupt each other. And I haven't been able to articulate one sentence yet, and I've been interrupted twice. So let's follow your own rules.
No,
I'm not offended by the woman on the left. Let me complete the sentence. I am not offended by the woman on the left, nor am I offended by the woman on the right. The aha that you're going for isn't there, because I'm saying I am not offended by either woman. But I am, please, I'm asking respectfully, allow me to finish a thought. Two people have spoken uninterrupted for 3 minutes. I haven't gotten 10 seconds out. What I'm saying is that the problem is not either woman. The problem is how we're narrating the commercial. That's what people are concerned about. Several things have been said that I'd like to respond to in direct response to what you're asking me, Piers. The first thing, and I'm glad the last woman who spoke mentioned that she's Jewish, because I think that's really important. Historically, there have been lots of anti-Semitic images, narratives, tropes that are used that non-Jews don't see. And many times someone will say, oh, wait a minute, they showed that person playing into the cabal narrative. They showed this person as a rodent, or they showed this person with changing their name to this or that. And the average person may not intend to be anti-Semitic, although some people are anti-Semitic, but it's still there and Jews recognize it. So I don't want to presume that because a white person doesn't see it, that means that it can't be racist, or if a black person doesn't see you know what I'm saying? We have to think about this on all levels from multiple audiences. You used the word normal and talked about it in the context of this white woman. White women are normal, but so are other people. The problem is, historically, we have only normalized white people. And so we've made white women's bodies, white male bodies, the norm. And we've made everything else less human, less beautiful, less real. And so when we say good genes are the ones that—
What a load of crap. Honestly, I'm sorry, Mark. If I may jump in on my own show, what a load of crap. I saw Beyonce do a jeans ad. Everybody drooled over it. I loved it. Thought she looked hot, but she did. Right? I mean, what are you talking about, man?
Just for reference, let me pull it up. For those of y'all who don't know, Google, let's go to Google. Let's go right here. Beyonce jean set. This that joint that they talking about right here. This that joint that they talking about right here. This that joint that they talking about, that set that she had on. Whole jean set. Whole jean set. Mind you, she got blonde. She got a whole blonde situation going on over here. We know she ain't no blonde. What was the uproar in that? You didn't see white people in the uproar about it. You didn't see black women in the uproar about it. You didn't see leftists in the uproar about it. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. But all of a sudden, you get a white woman, and mind you, Beyonce look good in the jean set. She slim stomach, fit, look great in the set. Looking great in the set. And you mean to tell me that Miss, let me do the same thing. Give me a second. Let me just give me a quick second. Give me a second. Nope, let's do this one right here. You mean to tell me that she don't look good in that jean set either? So we gonna lie today? We lying, so we gonna lie today? That's what we doing? What you mean? What you mean they ain't cut to fit bodies? Yes, they are. They're fit. Those jeans, those type of clothes are fit for fit bodies, slim, slender bodies. That's what they're fit for. If somebody can't fit them, oh well, that's their problem. They got several different other stores they can go to. They don't. That's the thing. We got to understand that there's a plethora of different stores other people can go to where they can find something that fits them. They don't have to go to goddamn American Eagle to buy jeans. They got Levi's jeans. Let me see what you say. Raw, the clothes are not cut to fit bodies curves with male or female. That's right. She landed Levi's with her country album. Yeah, she landed Levi's, but she looked great in the jeans set though. But nobody said anything about her being in the Levi's jeans set. What's the difference between her being in Levi's jeans set versus being in American Eagle? What's the difference? Just like they said, just recently they just had a gay person doing an ad for American Eagle. So what's the issue here? Are we just finding reasons to complain about something? They are definitely cut to fit curves. Grab worm is in the curve. And being built like a Michelin mascot is not curves. That's fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. And that's one thing that's one thing that we also have to recognize as well. We gotta start calling shit a spade a spade. Curves fat does not mean curves. You're fat. Whoever you are, regardless, if you don't like what I said, I'm sorry. You gotta call it spade a spade. Fat is fat. Curvy is curvy. Not a big bodied woman. Curvy is curvy. Let's look at the difference. Let me give y'all something. And I can't show that. I can't show that. Nope. They in a bikini. Let's look at this right here. I'm gonna point this one out. That's not curvy. That's not curvy. That right there, that ain't curvy at all. All right. But let me show you what is curvy though. Let's do this. Because we gotta make sure that they damn. Now let's do this. I got it. Now see this? This is curvy. Let me show y'all real quick. Let me show y'all something. Just give me a second. That's curvy. You understand me? That's the difference. Look at the midsection. Flat. Curvy. Got a little meat down there. That's the difference between the two. That's the difference between the two. Let me give you another example. Curvy. That's curvy. That's flat. Curvy. That's the difference. That's a difference. There's a huge difference between the two. You understand me? That's a huge difference. Huge. Yes, exactly. That's what we used to consider thick. That's what thick was. This ain't it. This ain't curvy. This ain't thick. That's fat. That's obesity. That is obesity. Look at this right here. Look at this. Look at that right there. Look at that. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at that. Ain't nothing curvy about that. You know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't fit into? I guarantee she'll fit into. Not her. Heck no. The one I just went to. I guarantee she will. I guarantee she will fit into some American Eagle jeans. They make jeans. Listen, y'all need to go back. Y'all need to go back into American Eagle. They made jeans for people like that. They got different kind of jeans. They ain't just one type of jeans, bro. They make different kind of jeans. You just gotta get the right kind of jeans. Gotta make different kind of jeans.
Man, this is. Let me ask you a straight question. Let me ask you a straight question. Does Sydney Sweeney have bad genes? Yes or no?
No, I don't think she has bad genes.
Does she have good genes?
So that's the point.
Does she have good genes?
No. Again, you're trying for these gotchas.
No, they did. No, they did back then too, Snow. Like I just said earlier, I wore them. I wore the jeans. I had the jeans on. I was rocking them hoes, the shirts and everything. They had XL. They made XL shirts. They had XL shirts. They made large. They made shirts. All I don't remember if they had 2Xs, but I'm for sure they had XLs. And at that time, I wouldn't even wear XLs. I was wearing larges. I was wearing large shirts. And they jeans went up to, and as far as men go, their jeans went up to, I think, 40s. The waist size went up to 40s. And at that time, I was wearing a 34. So they went from, I think, a size 28, all the jeans, the pants, they went from a 28 all the way up to, I think, a 38 or 40. So they made the jeans big enough. You just had to find the right fit. You had to find the right ones that fit you, because they made different kind of jeans. They had the ones that was tapered. They had the ones that had the loose cut. They had the boot cut jeans. They had different kinds. They had them. Because I used to be in there. I used to buy them. I used to have them. And so I know they were in there. If you now, of course, if you come in there, you 300 pounds, yeah, they ain't got nothing for you. Or if you come in there and you got this huge belly, as a man or a woman, you come in there and you thinking about you finna find you a 2X or a 3X, yeah, you gonna be SOL. Or you think you finna find a 44, 46, or 48, yeah, you SOL. They're basically saying these type of clothing are for fit people or people who are slimmer, people who are not morbidly obese. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you want to, so if somebody, man, woman, black, white, orange, green, if they want to fit into those type of jeans, if they want to fit into those type of clothes, well, they need to get into shape. They need to fit it. They need to get slim. They need to get slim. It is what it is. I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Doesn't have good or bad jeans.
The whole point is to argue that good and bad jeans itself is a bad idea. It's a racist idea.
Why can't you have good jeans, Mark?
Why is it racist?
If
why
you
can't you have
allow
good jeans?
I'm going to respond. You feel me? And I'm going to hope that you don't interrupt me as I answer. Okay? Because again, no one else has been interrupted except the people who disagree with you. What I'm saying is,
stop being so precious, please.
The word you listen. The word eugenics literally means good genes. It literally means that etymologically. The point here is to judge human beings based on their genes, and to decide that you have good genes and you have bad genes isn't in and of itself a racist project. That's the point. So no, it's not that I think that I have good genes and you can't say anyone else has good genes. I'm saying let's get rid of the good genes narrative, particularly when it's based on hair and eyes and body type. Why? Because those things are racially coded. In other words, if I say that straight hair is good genes or blonde hair is good genes, and no, I'm not after watching an ad Googling someone to figure out their natural roots, you'd be shocked. So good genes is a cumulative of many different things. Your size, your height, your ability to keep fat off of you, because you know some people have a faster metabolism, some people have a slower metabolism, some people are a lot healthier, some people are born with health defects or conditions where they may have thyroid conditions or high blood pressure, whatever the case may be. They may not be able to, they may grow or have been born with not such an athletic build, or they are built like a slouch. Just like earlier during the Anton Daniels show, they were talking about how there are some men that are curvy. You feel me? So then you got some women who are naturally curvy, just like some of the women that I just showed in the Google. Some of those women you can look at and say, yeah, she's naturally like that. Like she's naturally built like that. So there are some people who can eat whatever the fuck they want and they'll never gain a pound. And then there are some people who will eat one cookie and they gain 5 pounds. Genes are genes. Yes, it don't matter. It ain't got shit to do with your race. But then on top of that, if you have good genes in regards to you're able to stay slimmer and you're able to stay fit, but also on top of that, you have a nice structured face. You are an universally attractive individual. Yeah, you may have nice hair. I'm sorry to say, but sometimes some people's hair look better than others. You got some niggas who got some white ass, thin ass hair. You got white people who got really thin ass hair, and then you got some white people who got really full volumed ass hair. Just like some black people, they got some really nappy ass fucking hair. And then you got some black people who got some nice, beautiful fucking hair. Regardless of how you look at it, it's just good genes. It's just good genes, no matter how you spin it.
Let's use this prime example. You mean to tell me that the chick right here in the pink don't have better looking jeans than Shorty in the black? Let's look at the two. Look at her facial structure. Nice chiseled face. Nice looking face. And you mean to tell me that her jeans don't look better than this pale joker here? Remind you, I'm not saying that somebody's attractive or not attractive. Just look at the jeans. You mean to tell me that her jeans aren't better than this one's? This shit is wild. It's wild to me. Then you got niggas like Mark Lamont that come on this goddamn platform. I don't get it.
To know how many people don't do that. If I'm doing these things and I see your eye color and your hair as a sign of your good genes, then that means someone who has a different hair or eye color doesn't have good genes. And the last thing I'll say is, if you look historically at ads,
good genes also comes with athletic ability too. There are some people who just are naturally fucking gifted. You got people who can jump out the fucking gym. They can run fast. They're naturally fucking strong. It's just in their genes. Then you got some people who are weak as shit, who can't even do 10 fucking push-ups. If you bet your life on it, they couldn't do 10 push-ups. You got some men who never worked out in their life, but you look at their body, you like, bro, how long you been working on? Nigga, I ain't never touched a weight in my life. But they look like they just fucking been lifted all of their fucking life. That's just good genes, bro. And that comes with all races. That don't just come with a specific race. It comes with different races, dog. What should have American Eagle done? Should they have put a whole bunch of different races of women on there and said, oh, well, I just got good genes. All these women, black, white, orange, green, yellow, purple, they should have put all these women on the platform and just said, you know what? We're all considered good genes. Then what? Then there would have been another uproar. Well, why aren't you representing the women who are a little bit on the thicker side? Why aren't you representing the women who are a little bit curvier? Y'all always find some shit to complain about. You always find some shit to complain about. Always. It's always going to be something. What was the character from the Addams Family? Which one? Who? Morticia? I think so.
It doesn't though, does it? Calm down. Calm down. It doesn't actually mean that.
No.
Hang on. No, I will speak on my own show. So just calm down.
I'm asking you not to be condescending.
Stop being so precious. My instruction about shouting was between the four of you, not me. It's my show. I do what I like.
Yes, I don't care if it's your show.
My point is this.
If you interrupt me in the first minute, it's bad form. I'm saying that if you let the guest who agreed with you talk for 3 minutes, then don't allow me to talk for more than 1 second. You literally didn't let me finish the first sentence.
You have literally done more talking than all three other guests put together, multiple by
true.
2 or 3. So
that's not true, but my issue with you interrupting was not at this point. It was at the first 10 seconds. My point was just to interrupt me in the first 10 seconds. So
Can you calm down?
Is irrelevant.
Can you calm down?
I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm talking over you.
Right.
Can I jump in here,
have
Pierce?
blue eyes. Right. I also have good genes, particularly on my mother's side, because my skin is surprisingly good for a person of my age, because my mother's side all had good skin. You got a problem with that? Mark?
Is that for me?
You got a problem with that? Yes. If I say I've got good genes from my mother because I have good skin and I've got blue eyes, so what?
So what color eyes are what color eyes are bad genes? If someone has bad genes, what would their hair or skin look like?
I don't think any are bad. I didn't see anybody from American Eagle saying that anybody else.
No one said anything.
No one from just to be clear. Hang on. Nobody from American Eagle was making any comparison. Nobody said somebody else's eye color or skin color was wrong or bad or anything negative. All they said, in an amusing pun, is that Sydney Sweeney has good genes and is wearing great jeans. That's it. There was no negative about anybody else.
And here's why I disagree with that. Because if I were to stand on here and say, oh, she's from a good background, she's Gentile, then we would all say, well, wait a minute. I didn't compare to anybody else. No, by saying that Gentile's the good background, I would be implicitly saying that the others are not. If I say I have a good body, I'm skinny, then I'm saying the other bodies are not good. It's an implicit comparison, but it's not out of context. Historically, in this country and in the West, we've always said that white bodies are more beautiful. So it's not like we're coming out of nowhere here. This is out of Zeus's head. We're starting from a place where we've already presumed white superiority.
Mark, we have spent the last 10 years.
All right, Jedediah.
The last 10 years, if you look at all of the marketing campaigns, we have done how many segments on television about the elevation of obesity? You see people who are massive. Now we're saying it's a good thing, right? It's great. Let's celebrate everyone who's unhealthy and obese. If this ad was an African-American, if this ad was a Hispanic girl, no one would be saying a peep. Frankly, I think if this ad was a white girl like me with brown hair, brown eyes, I got a little Spanish in me, I got a little Italian in me, I'm Sicilian, I got some African in me, I don't think anyone would be saying anything either. This is utterly ridiculous. The only people who are offended by this ad are people who choose to be offended by everything. Either you choose to see racism in everything, or you choose to see sexism or misogyny. I noticed that a whole lot of women online were mad about this ad because they were jealous. It was so obvious. Now they're saying that this woman is against the body positivity campaign because she's skinny. So let's just say the truth. Sydney Sweeney is a sex symbol. She is a young, hot woman. She is objectively attractive. That is all this ad was about. Now, why has the stock skyrocketed for this company? The reason this ad has done so well is, yes, because it creates controversy and we all talk about it and we debate, and American Eagle is very smart and they knew that, but also because there is a growing segment of the population just like me that is saying that is so tired of walking on eggshells to cater to people like Mark's sensitivities. Frankly, I don't care if you're offended. You can put it.
Because here's another thing too. Here's another thing too that the leftists are also talking about. So Sabrina Carpenter as well. Y'all know who Sabrina Carpenter is? Let me inform you on who Sabrina Carpenter is, right? So Sabrina Carpenter, let's see, album cover, right? Boom. Where's it at? Where's it at? Yeah, here it is. Yeah. This the one. This the one. So there are a lot of women in the uproar about this cover. Sabrina Carpenter's. They're in the uproar about this. A lot of women, a lot of leftist women are in an uproar about this because there's a man that she's on her knees for this man and he's grabbing her hair. A lot of these women saying, well, why can't it be her, the one that's standing up and he's on his knees? Because what Sabrina Carpenter is doing, say, yeah, I am a servant to my man. That's what she's representing. I'm a servant to my man. I'm breaking back the traditional ways of life. I want to be a servant to my man. No, that nobody said slave. Nobody said anything about that, but I want to be a servant to my man. Because a lot of these women, they want these type of men who have all these luxurious things. They want these men with six figures. They want these men to be top tier men. So therefore, guess what? You're gonna have to operate. You're gonna have to move as such. They're gonna want you on all fours. If you want these type of men, guess what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to serve them. And nobody says serve him like a slave, but you're gonna have to serve him. You gonna have to fall in line. And they was in an uproar about that shit. And another white woman, another attractive white woman, everybody's in the uproar about it. Because she decided to bring this sex in this back. She's like, well, shit, well, I'm gonna take it back to the traditional way of things. Because they getting tired of this whole feminist bullshit. Because guess what? Feminism ain't helping women at all. It's hurting y'all. It's hurting y'all in every which way. You think it's doing something good for you, but it ain't doing shit for you. So women like Sydney Sweeney, chicks like Sabrina Carpenter are saying, fuck what y'all talking about. We out here. We out here, you hear me?
Who cares? Here's the bottom line. Stop getting so offended. If you see everything through the lens of race, that's your problem. That's not Sydney Sweeney's problem. That's not American Eagle's problem. If you see everything through the lens of misogyny, it's the same conversation over and over again.
Yeah, hang on, don't all talk at once. Don't all talk at once. No, I'm going to come to Anastasia. Anastasia, here's the problem. The Democrats have just polled at record lows, right? They are.
I will say this about Piers Morgan though: if you're gonna put them two up and let her cook like that, you do gotta let Mark Lamont respond. Let him respond his way. Don't just cut him off and then start talking to go to somebody else. No, let him say his piece, and then you can move on to the next person. So he got to get better at that.
Incredibly unpopular. And I can tell you one of the reasons why. It's things like this. The reason Donald Trump got reelected is partly the economy, partly immigration.
No, he got to, bro.
And also partly the culture.
Regardless if we agree or disagree, bro, you got to let him get his shit off. Because, I mean, I feel you, but he got to get his shit off at the end of the day, bro. It's a whole debate. He can't just jump in. Because, I mean, in this case, I do agree with Mark Lamont in regards to shit. The Mark Lamont ain't even start talking, and immediately Piers Morgan already started to interrupt. Like, hey, bro, chill the fuck out. Regardless if he agree or disagree, he still got to let him get his shit off, though.
Wars, which the liberal left, the woke left, tried so dementedly to fuel and fire for so many years, behaving like a bunch of insane fascists. And it comes down to stuff like this, where most people watch this ad and see it for what it is. A harmless ad with a hot actress selling jeans. But in the prism of the woke left, which I assume you would identify as, but correct me if I'm wrong, you look at it and see it as an obvious example of Nazism, eugenics, white supremacy, and you hate it and despise it, and anyone who likes it must be cancelled. And that's the problem with the woke left. That's why nobody wants to vote for anyone who identifies with the woke left. That's why Trump won. And no one on the left, in the woke left, seems to understand that it's exactly this kind of thing that is the reason that nobody wants to vote for you. Over to you.
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from. And I think that kind of strong narratives between, woke left, kind of hijacking everything is part of a narrative of labeling people and not allowing nuance and context of what is actually happening here. So I'm not really interested in being inflammatory around the subject. Neither do I think that this particular campaign is a propaganda campaign for eugenics. But I am interested in thinking about the power of media and representation in our culture and what it means for somebody who engages with this ad who doesn't look like me. And as a marketer, I know that actually it is American Eagle's problem that is a reaction of their customer base, which is
the bigger issue is this, because I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I've seen women, black women, Hispanic women, Asian women who are built like chicks like Sydney Sweeney. So they aren't just white, they're out here. There are many different races of people that wear American Eagle jeans. Who gives a fuck who's on the ad? She's hot right now. Just like any other thing in the world. You're gonna put the hottest person on the scene on your ad to run the numbers up. And at this point, people aren't caring. People are getting tired of being censored, bro. We went through 4 years we went through 4 years of Biden to being censored about everything. People can't say what the fuck they want to say. Everybody has to be quiet. You got to be politically correct about everything. You can't call a motherfucker fat when they are actually fat because they get offended by it. You can't say certain things because you can't call a man who's actually a man but who's dressed like a woman. You can't call him a man because they gonna get offended because you call him a man because they feel as if they're a woman when they really a fucking man. And vice versa. You're trying to put the tape over people's mouths because they want to talk the way they want to talk, and because they want to say they have a difference of opinion than you. And you want to be so fucking inclusive to everybody. No, fuck that. Fuck that. Nope. If you can't fit the jeans, keep it pushing. If you too fucking big to fit into American Eagle jeans, oh well, go to another store. That's your problem. Fix it. Go eat a salad. Go work out. Go run some miles. Go work out and come back in a few months to see if you can fit into some jeans. Other than that, you making an uproar about nothing. You have the autonomy. You have the free will to just not go into the fucking store and go somewhere else. You don't even have to pay this. To be 100% honest with you, this ad shouldn't even be talked about. There shouldn't even be any controversy about it. because you have the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want to do. You have the freedom to go buy whatever pair of jeans that you want to buy. There's so many different clothing brands out here that you can pick from whichever one you want, and it don't have to be American Eagle. But all of a sudden, you see an objectively attractive white woman talking about she got good jeans, and all of a sudden, just because she just so happened to have blonde streaks in her head, and she ain't no fucking blonde, she's a brunette, and we just saw that, we just proved that. And she's mildly attractive. She's slender. She's small. She's not obese. She ain't even that curvy. She ain't even curvy at all. She got her little breasts propped up like this and shit. And she looking a little attractive, being a little seductive in the situation. Y'all feeling some type of way because y'all don't look that way. And you mad. Get over it. Get over yourself. You narcissistic motherfucker.
Younger people and particularly younger girls. And as a marketer, I know it's a responsibility of the brand to understand their audience, to understand their worldview, the way that they form their associations, and connect with them, speak to them in a way that resonates. So it's absolutely...
Well, let me respond to that. Today's show is brought to you by Oxford Natural.
I'm gonna stop it right there, bro, because this shit doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. I 100% disagree with anybody who believes that they shouldn't have made that ad. They are welcome to do whatever they want to. I'm pretty sure that was a tactic for them to do. They wanted to cause an uproar, so therefore they can bring more people into American Eagle so they can run those numbers up. Because guess what? The holidays are coming. The holidays are coming. This is a perfect time to start running up the motherfucking numbers. Trump is in office. They talking about freedom of speech, all of these different things. They saying fuck what y'all leftists talking about. They sick of the black fatigue, all of it. They saying fuck all of it. We gonna talk our talk. We gonna do what the fuck we want to do. And those people who want to come in here and buy our shit, they gonna come in here and buy it. And as you can see, like they said, the numbers done ran the fuck up. So again, what American Eagle is sitting back saying, they're saying thank you. Thank you for bringing even more visibility to the brand. Now more people gonna come in this bitch and spend money in here. Thank you. Stupid. Just stupid. Just stupid. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure y'all hit that bell notification, dog. So let's go to this other topic, man. Let's go to this other topic. Snow, you better make sure you're here because we almost done. And I said I told you I was gonna talk about what you asked me to talk about. So I hope you're still in here. So let's go to the last topic of tonight. Well, the second to the last topic of tonight. Candace Parker. She keeping it G about Angel Reese, man. She talking her talk. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, bro. I ain't gonna get no more on it. We're gonna get into it.
Biography on how wrong this is. You guys can kick rocks.
All it took was one ranking to send an entire fan base into meltdown mode. Candace Parker, WNBA icon, looked at Angel Reese, the so-called double-double queen, and put her in the C tier. Not a superstar, not even close. While Reese's supporters were celebrating her latest stat line, Parker was busy exposing the truth nobody wanted to hear.
Then you got Angel Reese. I put her right at that C level. I think in terms of being above, you have to be able to have the ability to carry a team, be a 1 or 2 option.
Behind those flash.
Yeah, so but before anything, I haven't watched this video. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about Angel Reese. And I know a lot of people are gonna try to talk about, well, what about the numbers that she's been putting up? Man, she's stat padding, bro. She's stat padding. And then on top of that, amongst her double-doubles, they still trash. Let's look at the numbers, bro. Let's look at the numbers. Let's go ahead and go into it real quick before I play the rest of this video. Let me go into it really fast. What's the name? Chicago Sky? Let's look at, here we go. Say what I want. No, I don't want their entire thing. I just need the most recent. Okay. All right, so let's look at these numbers real quick. So let's look at these numbers real quick. The Chicago Sky as of 2025, they're 7-19. They're 7-19, bro. They're 7-19, bro. What are we talking about? Let me make sure I got this right. They're 7-19, bro. So we can talk about her double-doubles all day. They can talk about her double-doubles all day, but what are her double-doubles doing? Nothing. It ain't doing nothing to help the team. They still 7-19. She ain't doing nothing. She's not doing anything. So let's look at, so where's Angel Reese? Let's look at Angel Reese. So 6'3", 165 pounds. Points per game, 13. Rebounds, 12. Assists, 2. Steals, 1. Blocks, 0. Free throw, 75%. 3-point percentage, 19. Field goal percentage, 41. That's horrible. That is horrible. Let me say it again. That is horrible. That is horrible. She don't shoot threes. So mind you, she's 19% from the 3-point line. 19%. So that lets you know she ain't a 3-point shooter. That's one. Free throw percentage. She a C plus. So would you put her at the line? So would you put her at the end? Would you put her on the line when the game is on the line? Probably not. But on the defending side, yeah, I'm putting her on the line. I'll take my chances with her because she might miss. She's a C plus free throw shooter. C plus. C plus. 6 for 16 from the field goal against Washington. Let me make sure I make this clear. She don't shoot threes. Yes, at best, a C plus. At best, she's a C plus. So therefore, she's not the first, not the second, probably ain't even the third fucking option. To be honest, she wouldn't be the third option. You're shooting 41% from the field. That means you're 41% from under the basket. Under the basket, 41%. That's supposed to be just as easy as free throws. And you 41%? What are we talking about? And y'all was up here praising her for double doubles? Anybody can get 10 points and 10 rebounds. 10 points and 10 rebounds. So those little shots that she was throwing up and then getting the rebounds, that's easy. You do that a couple, 3 or 4 times a month. And how long she play for? She averages 32 minutes a game. So she do that. If she do a 32 minutes, right? And let's just say the shit that she does, she throw the ball up, get the rebound, throw the ball up again, and then throw it up the third time, and then it go in. So that's 3 rebounds in one possession. That's 3 rebounds in one fucking possession. So yes, she can get 10 rebounds quickly. That ain't nothing special. It's not. And then you playing 32 minutes to only get 13 points. So you're getting 13 points on a 41% field goal percentage. Bruh, trash. Exactly. So y'all talking about y'all want more money. For what? What you want more money for? If you want to get paid what you deserve, that means there won't be no WNBA. You won't be getting paid a motherfucking thing. You won't be getting paid nothing. So you already getting paid more than what you're already worth. Y'all are operating, the WNBA is operating in a profit loss. You're operating in a deficit. So how the fuck you expect to get paid more money? That's like going into your bank account. That's like going into your bank account and you negative $50. You talking about shit, man. Listen, I'm just trying to spend. Listen, bro, all I need to do, I just need to spend shit $50 more, bro. Nigga, you gonna be in the negative hundreds. You're gonna be losing even more money. You need to operate in a profit in order to get more money. You need to bring more people to the seats, which means you need to look within the system. Well, look at the entirety of the WNBA and figure out what things y'all need to change. What are the things that you need to change about the WNBA? Because if you try to make it like the NBA, it ain't gonna work. You playing at the rim is 10 feet tall. Most 90% of the women in the I'm gonna say 98. I'm gonna say about 97% of the women in the WNBA cannot dunk. So already, where's the excitement in that? 97% can't even dunk. That's one. So what's the solution? You drop their goal down a little bit. So to where at least 50% of the women can dunk. 50%. Now you're gonna see some women coming down there. It's like, damn, these women out here dunking on folks. That's one. Two. Sorry to say it. If you want to bring more eyes, you might have to objectify yourself a little bit. It is what it is. Objectify yourself. Bring the shorts up a little bit more. Or you can do what the volleyball players do. Throw them tights on. Who with the tights on, with the tighter shirts on. Still have the rest of the other shit. Have your hooping shoes on, do whatever you do, but have that shit on. And who? Well, you will have more men coming in like, ooh, we. Regardless if you like being objectified or not, but hey, if you want to make that money, if you want to profit, you want to get paid more, you're going to have to do that. There's certain things you might have to do. Now, nobody said you got to go and throw on makeup. You ain't got to do all of that. You ain't got to have the wigs on because we just saw what just happened. Shorty wig came off. Shorty wig came off. And she had to run off the court as if she got injured. Like, I don't know why. Like, why you just didn't take that hoe off? Why you just didn't take the wig off and just throw that hoe into the stands? You just keep on fucking playing. Why you ran back into the stands? Why you ran back into the locker room for? What sense did that make? Nigga, it's a wig. Take that shit off, throw that shit, and call it a day. And then, mind you, speaking of the wig situation, a fucking fan got thrown out. A fan got thrown out because they were laughing and saying some shit about the wig. What? This is why people don't want to go watch WNBA games. You can't even laugh. You can't even heckle the players. That's the point of being there. That's the point of being a fan. Outside of just cheering for them, yeah, you get to heckle the other players like, hey, nigga, you trash. You fucking suck. Yeah, take that fucking wig off. Throw that shit in the stand. Get that shit out of here. That's probably why you can't fucking shoot a three. They just saying shit. That's part of the game. That's part of the game. Part of it. NBA players got to go through that shit all the time. But you don't see them tripping about it. They just understand that it comes with the territory. Y'all out here complaining, oh, you shouldn't talk about her like that. That's her wig. She's sensitive. Man, give a fuck. Nigga, I pay to be here to watch this fucking game. Anything that happens, I'm going to talk my talk. Technically speaking, I'm paying you because my money pays for the WNBA as well as pays your check. helps pay for your check, the money that you made. That's because I decided to come to this game and spend my money, my hard-earned money, to come watch this sorry-ass game, to try to support you, or just for the simple fact that I just like basketball, and you want to kick me out. Well, give me my refund then. How about that? Give me my refund. Give me my money back. Or give me at least the worth of, okay, so I was here until halftime. Boom. Cut that in half. You take the other half, since I was only here half the time.
Numbers, the Chicago Sky kept racking up losses, and the deeper you dig, the more the narrative starts to crumble. Double-doubles that look good on paper, but mean nothing when it comes to winning. This wasn't just a hot take. Parker might have just pulled the mask off the biggest hoax in women's basketball.
Angel Reese was back to doing Angel Reese things, blowing layups, getting her own rebounds. They turned her into a point forward. She had 9 turnovers last night. I think her plus minus was minus 19. But all we keep hearing about, she now has 2 double-double streaks of more than 10 games or 10 games plus. She had one last year. Now she has one this year. She's the first WNBA player to ever do this. She got the brakes beaten off of her. And awful. If you watch the game, she was awful. We need to quit celebrating these little distinctions.
Candace Parker, 7-time All-Star and 2-time MVP, just did what no one else dared. She ranked Angel Reese as a C-tier player. Not B, not A, C. The outrage was instant. Reese's fans, used to seeing her celebrated on every sports show, flooded social media, calling her a hater, a sellout.
My thing is, here's my what's up, Magnetar? What's up, my guy? But here's the thing, though. How can you go against Candace Parker? She one of the top dogs in the WNBA. What we talking about? Angel Reese ain't got shit on Candace Parker. If anybody is to critique you, and you to take that, and you supposed to take that and actually run with that information, it's Candace Parker. She a top dog, but you gonna take Candace Parker will bust Lisa Leslie ass. Candace Parker would have bust Lisa Leslie ass. But you take the information from Lisa Leslie and not Candace Parker. You're supposed to take that with motivation. Like, yeah, man, Candace Parker said she put me at a C+. I bet. That means I need to get in the fucking gym. I need to fucking work. I need to fucking grind because I need to be that go-to person. If I can't be the number 1, I need to at least be the number 2. Angel Reese ain't none of that. I ain't depending on her. Get the ball. If the ball is in her hand, hey, I need her to pass that hole immediately. Get it out her hands as soon as possible. As soon as it touch it, get it back. Point guard, get the ball back. You throw that hole into the paint, boom. If she can't make a move and score, get it out, push it back out. Nope. Throw that bitch back out. Nope. Hell no. Throw it back out. Reset the fucking play. Crazy as hell. Man, listen, bro. Nah. I swear Shaq gonna cry in the car, bro. On God. On God, bro. Talking about every time somebody speaks real and they say some shit that you don't like, it's all of a sudden they hate. What the fuck Candace Parker got to hate on you for? She got rings. She got her accolades. She is one of the top dogs. She is one of the Hall of Famers. What are we talking about? What she need to hate on you for? What she need to hate on Angel Reese for? Come on, dog. Let's be real, fam.
Anything to defend their star. But Parker didn't flinch. She doubled down while the internet erupted. Why would one of basketball's most respected voices risk the wrath of a fan base? The answer shocked everyone.
Chicago Sky, y'all stink, bro. Y'all, look, there's trash and then there's trash. You know what I'm saying?
But Parker's reasoning wasn't about feelings. It was about facts. Unlike the talking heads who chase clicks, Candace Parker's opinion actually matters. She's lived the grind, carried teams, and won championships. Her message was simple but brutal. To rank above C tier, you have to be more than a stat chaser. You have to elevate your team, carry them through adversity, and make your teammates better.
Nafisa Collier, she's up there with top tier with Asia. Brianna Stewart, the versatility, reigning champion from last year. She's got 3 of them things. Caitlin Clark is at an A level. I think in time she's going to raise up to that S, but in order to put her at that level, you got to have a couple more years. So
Parker acknowledged Reese's double-doubles, but exposed the painful truth. Those double-doubles aren't leading to wins. In fact, they might be hiding.
Mind you, 7 and 19. They talking about double-doubles, but Chicago Sky 7 and 19. 7 and 19.
Real story. And when you dig into the numbers, the evidence is impossible to ignore. Let's cut through the noise. Angel Reese puts up double-doubles almost every night. But what happens when you look closer? In a stunning game against the Minnesota Lynx, Reese racked up 9 turnovers. Her plus-minus, -19.
But let's quit pretending like...
Exactly, Magnetar. That's what I'm saying. She was the last woman I actually seen dunk that thing in the actual game. Coast to coast with that bit. Rebound, took that hole all the way down. Yeah. You feel
This is
like,
some sort of history we're seeing from Angel Reese with these double-doubles. It's not. It's a nice little stat that's pretty irrelevant, doesn't lead to victories, they lost by 20-some-odd points last night to the Minnesota Lynx. The Lynx pretty much controlled that entire game. Angel Reese was no factor.
Exactly.
We need to quit celebrating. Oh, she got a double-double.
She was with Tennessee.
Well, yeah, they kept her in the fourth quarter when they were down by 20, and she, got a bucket or two and got to double-digit points.
The box score looked shiny, but the scoreboard told a different story. The Sky lost by 23 points. This wasn't just a bad night. It was a pattern. Game after game, Reese's stats pile up, but so do the losses. Coaches and analysts started to realize these numbers are empty. They don't drive winning. If anything, they're camouflaging a much bigger problem.
Yeah, Angel Reese is a 1 or a 2 option.
No,
she's not carrying her team to victories, though.
She's
not carrying her teams to W's, though.
Hell no.
We're halfway through the season, and the Chicago Sky are in single-digit wins.
Why isn't anyone in Chicago fixing it? That's where things get messy. Inside the Chicago Sky, coaches kept brushing off the turnover disasters and defensive breakdowns. They pointed to Reese's double-doubles, treating them like a magic shield against criticism. But behind closed doors, frustration brewed. Other players saw possession slipping away, team chemistry unraveling, and winnable games turning into embarrassing losses. The questions started to bubble up. Was the coaching staff more interested in promoting Reese's brand than building a winning team?
Yep. Nafisa Collier stood on business today. They destroyed the Chicago Sky.
I just gotta say this side note: 2 nose rings is crazy work for a man. 2 nose rings for a man is wild work. 2 of them things. Why you couldn't just be happy with 1? Why you had to get 2? I'm just saying, bro. That shit crazy.
Angel Reese had 9 turnovers. Listen, y'all got to stop with this point forward foolishness, man.
And as the
man, who you telling? Dog? Dog, I swear to God, I have never in my entire life, I've seen some traveling in my day, but I've never seen somebody this bad on a professional level travel this bad, carry and everything. I'm like, dog, what are y'all doing? What's going on at practice? Who's working with her? Who the fuck is her trainer? She needs all that money she making from social media. She need to pay a new trainer, because the shit that she doing, that shit is horrible. Got me straight dumbfounded over here. You feel me? Just letting her slide. I'm talking, she's taking 4 steps backwards. I ain't never seen nobody take 4 steps backwards. I've seen niggas travel going forward, but backwards, that shit was wild. I said, you got the ball up here and you taking steps backwards, dog. Where they do that at? Where they do that shit at? I see that kind of shit in fucking park ball with little kids. I ain't never seen no shit like that before.
Losses mounted. More voices started to speak out. Once Candace Parker opened the door, other analysts rushed in. Suddenly, it was okay to say what insiders had whispered for months. Angel Reese isn't a franchise player.
Let me let it come.
She's a role player disguised as a superstar. Respected basketball minds pointed out that opposing teams were targeting Reese, pressuring her into mistakes because they knew she'd crack. The numbers backed it up. The Sky actually win more often when Reese plays fewer minutes. It was a stunning reversal of everything the media had been selling. But how did so many people get fooled? Look no further than the league's marketing machine. The WNBA saw dollar signs in a Clark versus Reese rivalry. They branded Reese as double-double Barbie, served up endless highlight reels, and built narratives around every move. But you can't manufacture greatness. While Caitlin Clark quietly transformed the Indiana Fever into a playoff threat, the Sky kept spiraling. The hype couldn't hide the truth forever. As playoff hopes vanished, fans started asking hard questions. Was Reese's stardom a product of marketing more than actual game-changing talent?
Look at this shit. Let me pause this shit real quick. Look at this shit here, boy. This shit's crazy.
That is a travel.
Reese. Back the pivot.
You got it.
Look at this shit again. That's one.
That is a travel.
Reese.
Watch this one though.
Angel Reese traveling. Let's get it. Plays basketball like she's drunk, bro.
That ain't the one I wanted to see. Hold on, where that shit at? Here we go.
Angel Reese with the double dribble, and the refs didn't see it. Angel Reese with the double dribble, and the refs didn't see it.
Bro, Shorty be real deal out this bitch traveling. This shit crazy.
From the ones who are doing it better than them. Williams now with 4 points in the second quarter. Miscommunication between Atkins and Reese, and Carlton makes some.
Like, this shit's wild, fam. What's this about? Let me see what this one is.
Here's Carter. Accelerate. Kick back. Angel Reese looked like she traveled. No call. Shot rejected. That's 6 for Magmagor. And we're going the other way. Ezzy Magmagor, a new season high and one off her career high in blocks.
Well, that time timing it to perfection. Angel Reese trying to get by her. And again, you see her extend that left arm.
Yeah, she trash, bro. I gotta call it. She trash. That shit crazy.
Numbers kept telling a story that just couldn't be ignored.
They don't care, bro.
Here's the cold hard truth. When Angel Reese plays less than 30 minutes, Chicago's win percentage jumps. When she plays more, the team collapses. The ball moves better, other players find their rhythm, and the Sky suddenly look like a real team.
They be flat.
Reese's obsession with rebounds and stat lines is actually costing her teammates opportunities and costing the Sky victories. Through nearly 2 full seasons, the pattern is undeniable. Reese's.
I'll say this though, in Angel Reese's defense, a lot of them other chicks be traveling too though. A lot of them other chicks be traveling like a motherfucker too though. I'm just like, dog, did we not just see? Hold up, where's that? Because she ain't the only one. These shorties be straight traveling out here.
Costing the Sky victories. Through nearly 2.
Like, look at this shit right here. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe just because I'm a shooter. I know how to set my feet before I pull up. Right? Look how she catch the ball, then she skip another 2 and then shoot that bitch.
And right, costing the Sky victories.
Catch. Then she skip. Then she do another little skip just to shoot that hole again. Instead of just stepping into it and pulling up.
Through nearly 2 full seasons.
Yeah, bro. They be traveling. They be traveling all through the goddamn
The pattern is undeniable. Reese's presence correlates with more losses, not wins. And this isn't just about Chicago. It's about the future of the whole league. While the Sky struggle with their identity, Indiana Fever fans are watching a blueprint for real success. Caitlin Clark's impact goes beyond her own stats. She elevates everyone, turning teammates into stars and making the whole team more dangerous. That's what separates genuine franchise players from flashy box score heroes. The fever of building something lasting, while the sky you're trapped in a cycle of hype and disappointment.
I see what's going on. Them niggas out there them coaches out there trying to bust it down. That's what they trying to do. So they giving her some leeway. They trying to bust Angel Reese down. You know, they trying to get in good with her. Nigga, you supposed to be putting the shoulder on. You supposed to be putting the forearm in her back. Like, nah, I need you to move.
Fever of building something lasting.
Look at this shit.
While the sky you're trapped. That's on stats.
Look at this shit.
She elevates everyone, turning teammates into stars and making the whole team more dangerous.
Look at this shit. What's she doing?
That's what
kind of move is that? You ain't even set up. You ain't even got a solid base yet. You just standing straight the fuck up. You finna dribble, do whatever kind of spin this is, or whatever the fuck you're supposed to do. Nigga, you supposed to be set. Get your knee, bend your motherfucking legs, set a fucking base, call for the ball, come to that bitch, shimmy, backside, finish that hoe. What you talking about? What is this?
What separates genuine franchise players?
Look, you out here making googly eyes at the coach. Practice on your game.
From flashy box score heroes.
Trash.
The fever of building
she almost lost the ball in.
Something lasting, while the sky you're trapped in a cycle of hype and disappointment. The league's future belongs to players who make those around them better, not just themselves. Which brings us to the final and uncomfortable truth. When you strip away the marketing, the tweets, and the empty stat lines, a new reality emerges. Angel Reese's double-doubles don't translate to wins. The Sky are better when she's not the center of the offense, and the WNBA's attempt to manufacture a superstar has only exposed how easy it is to trick casual fans with flashy numbers. The real legends, the ones who change the game, do it by lifting up their teams, not themselves. The truth is out, and fans are finally starting to see through the noise. If you're ready to reward...
Who the fuck shoots layups like that? Y'all see that shit? Look. Hey, bro, who shoot? Hey, fam, who shoot layups like that? She has work to do. They are definitely using her for marketing and Clark. Oh, yeah, 1,000%. 1,000% they are. 1,000%.
And
look how she throw this layup up.
Fans are finally starting to see through the noise.
That bitch. She take the rock, bro. Why she throwing her head? Why she look so goofy when she throwing that little floater up, bro? Nah, fam. What is that?
Finally starting to see through the noise.
Fuck me, man. What the fuck is that shit? They said they playing in black folks' faces again and he's getting A for lunch. I swear to God, bro. I don't know what the fuck this is.
Noise. If you're ready to reward real greatness over empty hype, sound off in the comments. Who do you think?
That's what I'm saying. Look, that's what I'm saying. What kind of work are they doing with her? All she doing, first and foremost,
in the comments.
You going to the lane. That's one. And I get it. They may just be focusing on that one particular thing. But still, though, why aren't you teaching her to take you one way? Boom, boom. I'm going to drive you here. I'm going to feel you on my hip, depending on what side you're on. Because as you can see, he facing her on her left side. So therefore, you should be teaching her to counter that shit. Boom, I'm going to give you a shoulder. Boom, I'm going to shimmy to my left. And I'm going to spin that whole back right and finish with my motherfucking left. Or finish with two hands. What we doing? Drive you into the lane. And then I'm going to, come here. And I'm going to put the man in the hole.
Who do you think is the true game changer in the WNBA? Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story that exposes what's really happening in the world
I agree with
of
that, man. Yeah, you don't hear about nobody else. I definitely agree with that. Nah, but for real, bro, they doing too much, bro. They doing too much. I get it. They trying to push the narrative, but again, they only gonna be like Ross said, they only gonna be able to play in our face for so long, and then people gonna start calling out. They tried to give it a little boost with Angel Reese doing the the double doubles and trying to spruce up her numbers, but those are empty numbers. They ain't win. Her double doubles aren't contributing to wins. They're contributing to losses. And then you're shooting 41% from the field. You ain't shooting threes. Mind you, let me say it again. You aren't shooting threes. You're shooting 19% from the three-point line. 19% from the three-point line. So therefore, you ain't out there like that. So that means you really aren't even shooting middies. That's another one. So all of your points are coming from under the basket, and you're shooting 41%. That's below average. Shooting from the field, if you're shooting 41% from the field, that means you're shooting threes, you're shooting middies, you're shooting layups. Now, if that's the case, then it would make more sense. I'm like, all right, you shooting 47, 48% from the field. That's, you know what I'm saying? You might be 37, 38% from three-point line, but you sitting at 60, 70. You should be around 80% at minimum. At minimum, you should be around 80% from under the basket. You know what I'm saying? You got middies. So at least you should be hitting on average you should be hitting average middies. Average. At least shooting 50% from the mid-range. At least 50% from the mid-range. Shooting 50% from the mid-range. And so overall, you should be sitting anywhere between 45% to 65% across the entire field. That's threes, layups, and mid-ranges. But you ain't doing that. You under the basket. You shoot 19% from the three-point line. I wouldn't trust you with a dime to make a three for me on any level. Then they giving you the ball like you really out here finna do some work and you making turnovers. Shorty, you just had 9 turnovers this past game. And you ain't no point guard. So, first of all, that's on the coach. I blame the coach for that. He should already know you shouldn't have the ball in your hands unless you're under the basket. That's the only time the ball should be in your hands. Other than that, get it out. Get it out. But listen, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification, dog. So I want to talk about one last topic for tonight. Shout out to Snow. Snow, ask that question again. What is it that you want me to refer to in regards to YouTube and its monetization? Let me scroll back up real quick. Let me see if I can find it. See if I can find it, dog. Now, did I skip it? Did I bypass it, dog? Did I bypass it? Hold on, I think I did bypass it. Hold up. Okay, go up a little bit more. Okay, here we go. So, Snow Bunny wants me to talk about this. So, Courtnee Edgar, off topic. If you can get it, hold on. If you can go in, hold on. Maybe I'm tripping. Off topic. If you can we discuss? Okay, I got you. If you can we discuss how and why YouTube is the best platform for monetization? If you can, I was trying to explain earlier, not versed. Well, for me personally, I think that, and this is just all based off of the things that I've learned. One of the reasons why YouTube is the best platform is one of the reasons because it's probably the biggest network amongst YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, what's the other one? Kick, Rumble, all these other platforms. That's one. So it's the top dog, it's the big dog. It's been here, it's solidified, it's been here for the longest, and it has made millions of famous influencers. There's a ton of money in YouTube from the AdSense side, from brand deals to, again, when we get monetized, you talk about super chats where people can make money from it. And it's it's a dope way to build a platform overall. It's a dope way to build a platform overall. But let me set the precedent by saying YouTube in itself is hard as shit to do. I was having this conversation with one of my good friends today, and I was telling them, yeah, most people think it's easy as fuck to just get on the camera and just start fucking talking. To an extent, that could be true, but then you need to understand what it is that you're talking about. Some people want to talk about lifestyle situations. Some people want to talk about gaming. People want to talk about what's hot in the world right now, cultural topics, whatever the case. You can talk about anything in the world. There's always going to be a space for anything that you want to talk about on YouTube. But the only difference is you have to learn YouTube and how to get in the algorithm and how to find your people. And one of the biggest things that I find that YouTube does is they favor consistency. They favor consistency. And shout out to Anton Daniels for this, because at one point when I was just doing these live streams, it was just me just doing the live streams. And then what I would do in between, I would do the shorts. It would just be shorts. But then when I found out that shorts, it has a whole different metric than me posting long form content. So for y'all who haven't seen it, Anton Daniels actually gave me a basically a semi-evaluation on his live stream. And he was telling me, hey, see, your platform's good, it's growing, it's still a smaller platform. But in order to start getting in the algorithm, in order to start really getting out there and pushing yourself and really getting into the algorithm, you need to post more long form content. So that's what I started doing. I started every day I post a video. Every day I post a video, whether it's clipped up from this live stream, I post it, I clip it up, I post it every day, same time. Post it every day, same time. If I know I have more videos, I may post 2 a day. But I stick to 1 a day because I know that's something that I can be consistent with. And that's for me. Some people can do 3 a day, some people can do 2 a day. Some people just say, look, I'm gonna post one a week. That's what I know I can do. But I know for me, I slowly ramped up. So I know for sure I can do 1 a day. It's easy to do. I already have my thing templatized out. I have my thumbnails templatized out. I have all of my descriptions and everything, all that shit templatized out. And so I'm able to just boom, 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 boom. And I have my shit scheduled out to get ready to post. But as far as monetization, there's so many different ways you can monetize. And it's dope to be able to monetize, because being able to monetize, you can make a lot of money doing YouTube. And I know a lot of people say, I don't really care about making money. Yes, you do. Because once you realize the type of money that people make, once you realize that you can make a bag on YouTube, oh, trust me, you're going to start taking it serious. Only the people who really don't understand the type of money that you can actually make on YouTube will say, oh, you just a content creator. Yeah, you're right. I am a content creator. Absolutely. 1,000 fucking %. Because guess what? When I'm making that bag, when I'm running that bag up, and you still over here talking about you making $20 an hour, but you talking about you want to make 25, but then I'm over here making $30,000 to $40,000 a month, I guarantee you're gonna be talking a different language. You're gonna be looking different. You're gonna be talking different. See what you say. Something we spoke about is the 8 minute plus 1 second. That's all videos. Yes. So in order to get paid on your 8 minute video, in order to get paid for your long form content, your videos need to be about 8 minutes and 1 second in order for you to get paid. In order for you, so like, let's just say years down, or let's just say months or years down the road, you know what I'm saying, you evolve, you hit monetization, you got a steady group that's constantly showing up every day, or on your live streams or the videos that you post, you're racking in 100K views per video that you put out. You get paid on the videos that's minimum 8 minutes and 1 second long. You get paid on those videos. If it's under 8 minutes, you're not getting paid off of it. You're not going to get paid on it. And that's where the AdSense and all that shit come in. You won't get paid on it. So make sure you post your videos 8 minutes and 1 second at minimum. At minimum. Nothing under that. Nothing under it. So yeah. See, Snow, you about to make me have to create me a personal might have to make me create a video for the Patreon, man. Might have to make me create a video for the Patreon. Because once I hit 1,000, I think what I'm gonna do, I think what I'm actually gonna do for the Patreon is when I actually hit 1,000, which we are almost there. Once I hit 1,000, I think I'm gonna make a video on how to go from 0 to 1,000 subscribers. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that'd be dope. That'd be the start of, all right, cool. I'm able to get to 0 to 1,000 subscribers, and now I can use that as a platform. And then after that, then I can say, well, now I can show you how to get from 1,000 to 5,000, from 5,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 20, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and show you these different things. So I think that'd be pretty dope to do. But one of the biggest things I'm focused on is running up this motherfucking YouTube numbers. Running up the YouTube numbers, making sure the content gets better over time. But yeah, we're gonna continue to keep evolving. I like where we're going. I like the thing that we have going on now. It's pretty dope, but it's only gonna get better in due time. Slowly, but for surely. All right. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure you share this with your family, your friends, your cousins, your uncles, your sister, your mother, all those people in between, because we talk about everything under the sun as long as it gets back to the money and we solve for solutions. All right. So with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys. I love y'all. I'll holler.